What's going on, guys? What's happening? Good to see everybody jumped in there. Looking at you guys right now, like, holy crap. All right, let's see what we got here. Renee, you're first this time. Renee von Oosterhood. Good to see you in there, man. I said hello to you. My caps were all jerky on my keyboard here, but that's all right. We're all good, right? Let's see. Alien Tenno's in there. John Beck's in there. I gotta remember, I keep touching the wrong mouse here. I got two computers working at the same time. Kind of funny. Let's see. Wesley, what's going on? He said, hey. Renee Cruz, what's happening? Good to see you in there. Mimi Reacts is in there. Hello. Hello. How are you? Arts and Crafts, how are you today? Mr. Gosma, what's going on? Dayron, what's happening? Good evening, Chris. Greetings from Brazil. What's happening down in Brazil there? Hope you're doing well. Howdy, Pete. How you doing tonight? Todd Burdett, hello from Charleston, WV. What's going on, neighbor? What's happening? Well, let's see here. What's going on there, Richard? Good to see you. I said, hi, Chris. Hope you had a good week. I did. Thank you very much. Hope you did, too. Third Eye Open. What's happening? They're saying, hello, folks. Noodles, what's up? He said, good uploads this week. Well, I actually had the one, to be truthful. I was trying to get the second one out, but I was so busy at the beginning of the week that wasn't able to happen. But that's okay. We can always make more. It's no big deal. The last one was a lump in the middle that seemed like a hatch. Yeah, it had some real funky shapes in that thing, man. I'll tell you that. Mike Knapp, what's happening? Oop, they just jumped on me again. I hate when that happens. Francisco Pareles, what's going on? Maybe just go ahead and cut and paste the link and just put it in that box where you actually chat, in the chat box there, and send it. It should go right in. Gross at 4123, what's happening? We are safe here. I hope you are safe. Johnny Prod, hello. What's going on? Henry Strait says, hi, Chris, from Combine, Texas. What's going on? What's going on, Eric Snodgrass? He said, hello. Stephen Porter, good evening, Chris, from Wales. Well, it's good to see everybody over there from the Big Pond's doing well. Over from the Big Pond. Oh, Eric, you're from Idaho. Well, good to have you in there. Mario Dom, hello, Chris, from South Africa. What's happening? Brian Norton. Good to see you in there, Brian. He says, hey, Chris and Mars family. Francesco says, hi from Ensenada, BC, Norte, Mexico. Oh, sweet. Oh, okay. You said, hey, from Quebec. Remember Cross. Okay. It's Jean, not John. Well, Jean, how you pronounce it, depending on how you... Is it Jean? Hate to go messing people's names up. 420 Alien, what's happening? Said, hey, Chris. Hi, everyone. Loved the last video. Thank you very much. Photography Light Magic, what's going on, man? I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well as well. Hey, Landano. Talking to Mimi is pretty funny. Well, that wouldn't be funny if he pasted that, but yeah. It might be just a little embarrassing. To Empty Girl, he said, hey, Chris, I finally remember when this starts. Oh, all right. Good to have you in there. Don't you hate that when you know, it's like, you're forgetting something, and then you go, what did I forget? Oh, that's right. So good to have you in there. Okay. I got you there, John Jean. Oh, let's see. What's going on there, Johnny Prod? You said any Any videos from Lunar coming? Yes, there should be one. In fact, there should be two. One of them is actually in Photoshop and the other one is on the back burner. So, what everything's been going crazy lately, it's hard to keep up with it, but we're working on it. Don't worry about nothing. We'll get it in there. Noodles. Mars family, like the Partridge family. Hello, world. Hi, Great Gaming. You said, hi, Chris. I'm from the UK. Day one subber. I love your content. My mind is open to all sorts, but you blow me away. Keep up the good work. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Well, thanks, Photography Light Magic. You said I loved your last video. Some crazy stuff in there. Absolutely. Yeah. It has definitely got some crazy stuff in there. And clearly that doesn't look like natural stuff, right? Not all of it. We can agree that you got a lot of rocks and everything laying about or around. But, yeah, just some of the stuff in that cliffside and everything else. I think those things have definitely been doctored up to look like buttes and all that other good stuff. But clearly you can just tell that isn't the case. Unless they're building into them, right? Pete, I hear that. You said ready for Mars. Earth is driving me crazy. I hear that. Archetype Neck, what's going on? Sorry, I'm a bit late to the party. Nah, you're fine, man. We're only 12 minutes into it, just saying the greetings and everything else, so you're not missing anything. Renee Vaughn says, thumbs up, everyone. Thumbs up. Robert Zilstra, what's happening? He says, hey, Chris, good to see you healthy. Question, what would be the impact of Stephen Guerrero on Fox about the UFO footage disclosure? It was nationwide. I guess some people weren't happy. About the actual UFO footage? They're probably more perplexed than anything, right? Like, what? Because some of the people like us would be like, yeah, get it out there, Some people would be like, yeah, I don't believe that crap. So you're going to have... You're going to have either side, and of course, you're going to have the kind of people in the middle kind of thing going on, right? Stephen Porter said, hi, Chris. Any news on the Chinese lander and any photos? Not that I'm aware of. Anybody else see any new ones come out yet? And if they are, they're really not broadcasting it to the public, right? They're not saying, hey, by the way, we got new ones out. Rocky Twain, what's going on? Good to see you in there. Kyle, what's happening? Say, what's up, people? You made it, yep. And the Nintendo, thank you for your support. As always, appreciate you. He said gas, water pipes, and the vids on Mars, Chris. It's what it appears to be. It's almost like a structure been blown to pieces, and you can see like whether it be the plumbing or the piping itself, right? Yeah. I think a lot of people see a lot of that stuff in there. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, Noodles, like he said the lump in the middle of the gigapan seems like a hatch of some kind. Yeah, it does have that weird, just that puzzling look to it, right? It's hard to make out what it is, but you never can tell, right? David Binge, you said, hi, Chris. Hope you're good, pal. Hi, all. What's going on, David? Good to see you in there. Dayron, you said like 20, what was that? Let me see. Are you saying like 20 photos? What are you saying? Tamty Girl, he said, I thumbs up as soon as I get here. Well, that's awesome. I appreciate you. Oh, that's a crash. You're fine. No big deal. MG Toe, what's happening? Good to see you in there, man. You said thumbs up, everyone. Hammer time. ArchetypeNet, you said, yeah, they're not releasing anything new. Moonlander. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, they start off and just want to show you pictures to say, yes, confirm that we are there. And then you never hear another thing about it, right? Melinda, now it's good to see you in there, man. Say hi, Chris. Hi, everyone. Weird World, you said, what's up? What's going on? Sorry for light magic. The Chinese found bats on the moon and the buggers ate them. That's not good. What's going on, Nick? Mad? Good to see you, man. No, Alien General versus China's new lander is called COVID MK22. Yeah, that's not good. What's going on, Mike Hoover? Good to see you there, man. Said Chris, man, what's up, amazing cats? Let me make this a little bit bigger. It's hard to see this other screen sometimes, but it's not too bad right there. Hi, Great Gaming. He said, Chris, do you believe in the New World Order? Who do you think controls the big guys? Is COVID just a test? A lot of people have said that, like, this COVID-19 is like it's just like a smokescreen, right? There's a lot more going on. It doesn't have to be, devious in any way. Like, they just, remember we were talking about how the ozone layer. Well, there's a write-up about that, and I'll show you a little bit later, that it's pretty much healed itself. We were just talking about that not too long ago, saying, wow, we haven't heard anything about it, blah, 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 blah. Well, now they're saying it's pretty much healed itself. So it's almost like they did it like for some good reasons, some bad reasons. In other words, COVID-19 is not good in any way, right? It's killing, a lot of people, so on and so forth. But on the flip side of things, people are staying in the house, or at least most people are, a good majority, and now they're starting to, different depending on the country you live in or the state or whatever, they're releasing or letting people, get out a little bit more and more each week. But because of everybody who's in lockdown, it's done nature a huge benefit. So there is obviously a real bad side to it, but then there's a good side to nature on a more global, scale. So I think that's awesome. Let me see. Well, I mean, you're going to have, too, high-grade gaming. You're also going to have the New World Order. When you say that, I think it's like the elites, right? The actual people that own this planet because they're filthy rich and they control everything. And, and everything further down, whether it be news media, is just nothing more than PR puppets, right? So you're going to get that. I mean, you're just going to have the higher-ups, and they're just going to be, like I said, in control of everything. Johnny Prada, I agree with you. You said, I wish there was a website on the deep web that would leak content about anomalies, pictures without manipulation of places like Mars, etc. Totally agree with you. Stephen Porter, you said, Chris, any photos of the dark side of the moon and the anomalies on that side? You don't have a whole lot of photos from there, so it's very limited at all. But what was it? Who said they're sending a CubeSat? I don't know if it's NASA. Supposed to be sending a CubeSat to the other side of the moon. So that would be interesting. Yeah, weird world. Yeah, I've been busy at work and, because, basically my job's a necessity, so I got to be there. Although I'd like to be on lockdown sometimes and just not have to do anything. But I guess there's a downside that you start going stir crazy, right? Let's see. Oh, they just jumped on me here. Archetype Net, you said, I've studied the images Hoagland examined from the Chinese lander. Very ambiguous, but interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff. If you just got to look at the very small details, that's what matters. If you look at the overall photo, we've just by looking at some of these pans, we've seen things that just clearly don't belong there. I mean, but you got to really zoom in to see the things that are really being hidden, right? Like a lot of this rock mimicking software is being put on in a lot of things, but you can see the very small corners of these things that are there, right? Just had to take a closer look at them, that's all. Kyle, you asked, I have a real good question. How many people know somebody who has COVID-19? I ask everybody this. That's a good question. Anybody know? John, you said, hi, mate. Keep up the good work. John from the UK. Well, I appreciate it there, John. Hope you're doing well over in the UK. Archetype Net, you said, are we going over any specific images this evening? We may be going over a pan, but we have quite a bit to cover. So, yeah. We'll be jumping on that. Well, you're right about that. You said, Weird Will said, nah, not everything is a conspiracy, just stay indoors. Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, you know, if the reason why people say it's like a conspiracy is because when you listen to, I'm going to forget their fruitcake's name now. Like, if you guys are familiar with the Georgia Stones, where they're very tall stones, they said they want to cut the people, 500 million people, the planet down to 500 million people. It's like, really? So, and if you think about it, how can you get rid of X amount of people in X amount of months? It seems like almost every year we get this, either some kind of epidemic, pandemic, or some kind of flu, which you kind of expect because of the weather, right? But every single year, and, it just seems to get a hair bit worse, meaning more contagious or whatever. But no, I mean, it's just, what I tell people, just, do what the officials tell you, that's all. I'm aware of them, Architect Net, I'm sorry. He said, if you're interested in a good explanation of the ozone at the North Pole, check out Suspicious Observers channel. Yeah, he's actually pretty good. I like his channel. He's very, very brilliant, too, when it comes to, like, solar radiation, storms, the weather around the world, what's going on, blah, 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 earthquakes, whatever it may be. Really, really good channel. What's going on there, John Devon? Good to see you in there. He said, hello, Chris and everyone. I'm happy to see everyone. Well, happy to see you in here. Arts and Crass, Kyle, my grandparents have lost 4 people to this virus. I'm very sorry to hear that, Arts and Crass. That sucks, man. Hate to hear that, anything like that. If it's one person, it's too much, right? So my condolences go out to them. Well, that's true, Noodles. You said a clean environment, free healthcare, and almost UBI, I'm not sure what that is, are on the other side of this pandemic. Pandemic, yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, it's a bad situation, but we'll come out, better for it, I guess. But it just seems like every year something else is a little bit more potent. You know why? Because they're manufacturing these viruses, right? It's known it's a bio warfare. It's exactly what it is. And that's how these things pretty much started. The thing is patented, so what does that tell you, right? Not good. Ian Wentworth, you said, hey, Chris, hope you are good. I had a good week, I'm sorry. What do you make of the Pentagon videos released this week? Well, they've been released a while back, right? But they're like trying to confirm it just so people don't get any misconceptions, as they put it. I don't know. I mean, I've seen somebody already trying to debunk these things, right? They're like, well, it's probably a plane, and it's the way the light shining off it, and it's because it's rotating on this one of these, like they had the Tic Tac video and the different, the other two and stuff like that, and it's silly, but, at one point, they actually owned it themselves. They said, well, it's actually ours. It's not, unidentified aerial phenomenon. I still call them UFOs, but that's what they call them now. So it's either ours, and they just, playing it off like, yeah, we just actually, we got the technology now to do that. I still say we don't, but that doesn't mean we don't. You know what I mean? I don't think that they do, but like I said, it's hard to tell. Time will tell, because more and more of that will come out, right? Kyle, you make a good point. You said, I'm not saying it's not real. I'm just saying that they're overestimating the deaths and cases. Well, there's a lot of people that die every year. Let's just take the viruses out of the equation, right? You got people dying. I mean, you got infants dying, right? And you've got, people of old age or people with complications, stuff like that are actually, they die every year anyway. But then you throw in AIDS, all kinds of other things, whether it be plane, car accidents, whatever, so on and so forth. Work yourself down the line, and then you come up to these viruses and these pandemics and stuff like that, and it just adds to it. But a lot of these people are putting like let's say an older guy died of a heart attack. Okay? Doesn't mean it's COVID, right? But so they're just throwing them all in the same category. So I get what you're saying. And then, of course, if they are testing them and they say, yeah, absolutely, this person had it, well, those are the numbers should count, right? Josh D, what's going on? Hello, all. I am late, I think. How are you all? And how about the Pentagon affirming the Tic Tac and gimbal? Well, that's what we were just talking about, Josh D. I think they may have the technology, but I don't think it's just theirs. Maybe it's reverse engineered, or we are brilliant. I mean, we do have people that can design this stuff. Or was it just something that just happened to, who knows? I think somebody said that one time, too. They said something about, how do we know it wasn't something that they found? And, they were trying to pilot these things and, making these maneuvers. So, in other words, it is something not of this world, but it's like we're piloting these things. So, I don't know. It would not surprise me if it was actually unidentified, meaning it's not from this world either. It's something alien tech, right? Noodles, you said they patented a delivery system and non-communicable structure for antigens. Big difference. True. However, if you're going to design something, there's also going to be a cure for it. Or some antivirus, call it what you want, a vaccine. If it's designed to, kill, it's a biowarfare, right? If it's designed to kill, that they got a, cure for it. Because clearly designing it, so therefore they must have something to cure it. And didn't they use part of the vaccine? It was from SARS, or was it from what other virus was it? I'm not sure if it was the SARS or not, but either way. Weird World, you said you ever check out the Real Jimmy Roberts 1? Yes, he's a good friend of mine. He does really good work. Absolutely, Weird World, yep. Dennis Bailey said, hi, Chris. Greets from New Hampshire. The more people are in quarantine, the more babies are being made. True. We're going to have a hell of a breakout come this fall, right? As far as people having kids and everything. Maybe near the end of the year, right? What's going on there, Mark Lewis? Good to see you in there. Whoops. Damn, I hate it when it does this. What's going on there, Supreme Ruler? Good to see you in there, man. Let's see. Josh D, you said, anyone seen the Jean Ward vids? Yes, absolutely. He's kicking it out there, man. He's doing some good work out there. What's going on there, Limey Watcher? He said, hi, Chris, and all hope all is okay. And all hope all okay. Yeah, we're doing good here. I hope you're doing good there, Limey Watcher. Amos Black, what's happening? He said, hi, everyone. Let me see here. What's going on there, Doc Jock? What up? John Moore said, Rocky Mystery Tour, many UFOs in Europe, France, etc. Be sure of it. Oh, yeah. Jimmy's our bro. Yeah, Jimmy does good work. He's a good guy to boot, too. He's down to earth. Although some people would say otherwise, but he's no different than you or I, that's for sure. Let's see. Stephen Porter, said, it's funny, Chris, that as a species, and all the millions of years humans have been, and only now we are reaching space, how come we've evolved so quickly in the last 100 years? Well, that's the thing, right? You got anything from evolution to just, boom, leaps and bounds as far as technology-wise, right? It's just not too long ago we were just an industrial planet. It was just, just factories and everything else. Now it's like we've jumped leaps and bounds technologically, so it's pretty sweet. What's going on, Mark? He said, hi, Chris from Gosford, New South Wales. Australia, do you believe 100 watching but only 50 thumbs up? Come on, guys, smash it hard. That's what he says. Come on, guys. Yeah, 104. Only 52 thumbs up. Come on, man, nail it, guys. Mike Hoovy said, love how practically everyone sees Bill Gates is a killer, period. Yeah, exactly. Rock Mystery Tour, you said, did you ever cover Night of Cydonia in your videos? Night of Cydonia. I'm not sure of that one. I've covered this Cydonia region, and even the Black Knight. Lancemus, what's going on? Lancemus Blacko says, man, it's almost 100 here. Hot. Damn. Well, you must be out in Arizona somewhere. It was like 104 degrees yesterday, the other day, wasn't it? Yeah, last couple of years we didn't have any spring. Now it's like, it's totally hanging on. It's only like 59 degrees Fahrenheit right now. Zoroaster 40s, Texas says hi. What's going on, Texas? Good to see you in there. Mimi reacts, who gave the thumbs down? Must be NASA. Nah, it's just the trolls. You know how that goes. I mean, how do you give a thumbs down while you're actually watching it? That's what I'm saying. I think it's comical. Let's see now. Oh, okay. Knights of Cydonia, great song. Oh, okay, gotcha. The Muse. Supreme Rolly is only 66. Well, you're a little warmer than I am. Southeast of Michigan, huh? Alcotilla, California. Hot, hot. Oh, okay. They're pretty darn close, right? Arizona is toasting over there. Let me see. HDOS 1AV. There's always one. You got that right. You know, you get those. It happens. Like I said before, you could be God himself, you know, doing healings live, and then people, thumbs down. I don't like his robe. I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like his healing powers. You know, there's always that one in the bunch or a few in the bunch, right? You'll get those. Jack Lambert, you said, what's up, Chris? How's you and yours? I'm doing fine, Jack. I hope you're doing good, doing well, and your family's doing well. What's going on, Course? I seen a light shoot out of that bright star the other day. Can't believe it. Huh. Lance was blankies. I smashed it twice and it took it off. Yeah, that tends to happen. It's like, oh hell, where did the button go? Let me see. Oh, this thing jumped out. It's all right. Rocky Mystery Toy. You can go on. You can go on my page itself, and there's a search box right there. So if you go to the main page, just put Cydonia. And it's a little different than people expect. But check it out. And I might actually revisit that and do it again, because that's been quite a few years I've done that. But yeah. Sometimes you get newer information, so you got to make newer stuff, right? Oh, Joss is in there. Doc Chuck. Michael Stark, what's going on, man? You asked Chris if you could interview an ET alien, what's the first 3 questions you would ask? Well, that's complicated, because first thing you'd say, where you from? You know, what's life like on that planet? And the third one could be really interesting, because you don't know whether to say, you know, ask simple things like, is a lot like Earth? You know, do you have like silly politics and stuff like that? Monetary? Do you have this, that, and the other? So there's so much you could ask, right? How long does it take you to get here? I mean, those would have to be really seriously thought out. You know, how old is your civilization? So on and so forth, right? So, yeah. Oh, okay. Arts and crafts. Yeah, you're right. You said you had to be on a PC to see the search bar. You're right. Well, maybe I'll leave the link in there after this live hangout. Like I try to do, leave all the links that we use in here. Sometimes we don't because it's just you guys will get to see it here firsthand. So usually don't have to leave the link, and a lot of times I do. All right. All right, guys. Here's the thing, too. Here's if you guys haven't heard of Forbidden TV or ForbiddenKnowledge.tv, I'm going to let you watch this, and then we're going to get into this because I think you guys are going to like this, especially how we're all in still lockdown and we're barely getting out of the house. This is interesting. You guys are going to like this. So let's go ahead and do that. Oops. Hate it when that happens.
Forbidden knowledge. People own planets, people own solar systems, and people own galaxies.
I didn't know when they were coming. I didn't know, what they were doing with me. At the time, I didn't know if they're going to come in and kill me, or mutilate me.
The Giza Plateau of northern Africa contains some of the most important archaeological records on Earth and is a treasure trove of massive ancient structures and tunnels, which includes the Great Sphinx and pyramids.
What's up, guys? Billy Carson here, also known as Forbidden Knowledge. I'm over here with my boy Nino Brown 305. Say what's up, Nino. You begin to realize that these Atlantean Anunnaki people had promised them something. They promised them eternal life.
Come up strong. Good.
Conspiracy. Everybody always talking about conspiracy. Everybody on the lookout for their enemy. I try to tell them, oh, what's up if they ain't hearing me.
Forbidden knowledge.
All right, guys. Almost forgot the mic was on and the video here. But I'm just going over just slowly to let you guys see this. But anyway, what I like about Forbidden Knowledge TV is that, there's so much in here to see, guys. If you like, healthy eating, you need help with finances, they'll walk you through it. If you need, anything like that, like I said, healthy eating, healthy exercising. But most of all, you guys are interested in this stuff, which is like aliens. Of course, a lot of you guys like Billy Carson because he does a lot of this stuff himself. And here's the funny part. What I like about Billy is that he literally goes from country to country. Like if you go to Angkor Wat, or if you go to Egypt and stuff like that, he actually has his own person guiding him through the stuff and giving him firsthand knowledge as opposed to just hearing it off the web, right? So he's literally going there himself. That's the key. And I find that really interesting. That's how he gets his knowledge, right? It's not just a hearsay thing. He's doing the work. He's doing the footwork. Mike Hoover, thank you. I appreciate your support, man. He said SDS 45 and 114 was awesome. My birthday, I seen those videos. Our government advanced rail guns trying to shoot down UFOs. Incredible. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, there's a lot of crazy stuff out there to watch, man. It's just good stuff. Well, again, Mike, appreciate your support, man. And here's the thing, too, guys. Listen, look, we can go down here, trending now, right? Again, he's got Egyptian Mystery School, and there's different parts there. You can see this in here is episode 8. And it's going to keep going, guys. Look at Egyptian Mystery School podcast. He's got Fade to Black with Jimmy Church. Got a series on those. And if you guys are into Brian Forster like I am, he talks about everything from Egypt to different ruins in different parts of the world. Science, we already said that. Conferences and ascension knowledge, good stuff. I watched a few of these myself. I'll go down here. Conscious health and wellness, conscious food. So it's all better eating stuff. And, of course, you got conscious financial stuff. And, of course, you got music that's like good vibration kind of stuff, feel-good music. I mean, you name it, it's there, right? Different trailers to it, but you got like different videos that I put on there. There's going to be more going on there. And like I said, there's content being added all the time. So there's a lot to see. Let's see, Meditation by Cruz, Beginner's Course. A lot of people around here I know could use some meditation and stuff like that. The Anunnaki series, Seventh Planet Broadcasting. Guys, look at Jimmy Church, Fade to Black. Here's a lot of the series here. You name it. It's stuff you can't really see on the internet, although he does have some on there. But this is just cool, Again, Brian Forster, In Search Of. Donnie Arcade is awesome. He's I'm really not into rap, right? I really can't stand the crap. But what I like about his music is he's actually talking about, like you see, Halls of Amente. He's got one that's called Green Tablets. It's basically about the Anunnaki and ancient civilization stuff. So it's a rap, but it's about things to do with space, things to do with the Anunnaki, so on and so forth. So I give him kudos. He does really good with his music, good stuff. Like I said, Freedom Family. They got like spiritual stuff if you're into that kind of thing. Extraterrestrial Contact Expo 2020, which a lot of people can't see that unless you go there. So again, this is more stuff you get to see. Mars, Moon, Space is this is Thomas Mikey Jensen does this, and is also doing lovely work with this site. I mean, look at this. So Eric Von Daniken, that was actually a good one there. It's about 31 minutes long. Really good stuff. And so really, Alexis Brooks does this, and she interviews a lot of these people, and also interviewed Billy. So, there's so much in here to see, guys. And here's the thing. Once you get on there, it's cool. Everybody should jump on this because, like I said, and you can go on there. This is what you'll find when you go on it. It's Forbidden, meaning the number 4, biddenknowledge.tv, and you can start watching it. And here's the thing. 3-day free trial. Cancel anytime. And it says right there, it's $7.77 a month or $77 a year, which is peanuts when you really think about some of the crap that's out there that they offer for like $20. So this is awesome. If you guys want to sign up for that, go for it, man. To me, it's really, really good stuff. Like I said, for that kind of money, I join the thing because it's just a lot of cool content, So, yeah. Also, let's see. Jumping on to, what do we got here? What do I want to show you guys next? This is pretty neat. Oh, this is pretty cool, too. Weird World, he said, Brian Forrest, #1 fan here. He's got a lot of good stuff. I love his work. Are you kidding me? I look at it this way. If you can get a lot of everything that you like, maybe it's more than one thing you like, you know? Like I said, it's ancient ruins. You know, like I said, they asked me to put my videos up there. Of course, I said yes. You know, because Billy's a good friend of mine as well as Thomas is. And like I said, there's a lot of people. There's more content going on there. So if you like anything like that, you get to see other cool stuff. And it's just like, I like a site that has like a one-stop shop. There's like many things you can get out of just a one site. That's what I like about it. Archetype Network, he said, anyone remember a conscious media network with Regina? She had her own platform that moved a guy. I do. Had some good stuff there, right? Renee Vaughn Oosterhood, you said, hey, Chris, you have done a live chat in the past with Billy Costa, very intelligent guy, a lot of knowledge, this man. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And here's the thing, Billy's down to earth like anybody else here. You know what I mean? Good guy, very knowledgeable, you know? Somebody once told me, if you're not learning something new every day, then you've stopped living. It's as simple as that. Odds of Crash is Anunnaki. Love anything about them. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I mean, a lot of interesting content on there. Let's see. Let's see. Hate it when that happens. But you hate it when the mouse doesn't work right? Yeah, here's a link to it here if you guys want to jump on that. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Oops. All right. Got two mice here. Mises. So I'm trying to get the... trying to maneuver around this mic stand here. Stephen Porter, you said, Chris, why is the USA going back to the moon with new lander if there's nothing to see? Great question. I wish I could. Okay, I wish I could answer that. Exactly. Why do they make so many Apollo missions if they're just looking at rock? Well, we looked at different areas. That's what they'll tell you. So we were just checking out different rocks. Whatever. Brian Norton is a good one. Look, a little beasties there. Now, here's a little story about to tell about three bad brothers you know so well. Yep. Jack Lambert, you said, are you familiar, Chris, with the Jimmy Roberts channel and his stereoscopic 3D imaging of the ruins on Mars? Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, David Gannett is the one that started that, the 3D. If you go, I think it's X3D is his channel. Mars X3D, I'm sorry. And when you go on there, he actually did, they kind of work together where they can get this out, where they said, they basically trained your eyes how you can look at it and get a 3D stereoscopic view. And yeah, they've been doing awesome. And so hasn't Jimmy, trying to do the same thing where you can study the way they kind of just say, kind of go together, put your eyes together, and you can actually see it, and it actually pops more of a 3D than just 2D, right? Doc Chuck. Yeah, show my age just a little bit there, yeah. It's no big deal. John Devon, you said, yep, the real Jimmy taught me how to see 3D. Absolutely. And once you see it, it's almost like it's so easy to do, right? You just kind of like, it's almost like crossing your eyes, just don't get extreme with it, but pretty much, and then kind of focus it to everything becomes like one image, and you're ready to rock, you know? Archetype Net, and you said Apollo 17 lander footage is amazing. Yeah, take a good look around the stuff, around the lander and the Apollo astronauts, right? Crazy stuff. Yeah, David Childress is another good one. Yeah, he is. A lot of really good, smart people. And I think there was even some of that on that site as well, forbiddenknowledge.tv. I turned a couple friends onto that. They love the site. They said, well, it's cool because it's got like a little of everything. I want to eat better. I like exercising. I love any documentaries. I mean, the list goes on, and I can sure in hell, learn how to save money and learn how to manage and everything, so that's cool. So I don't see any harm in it. I think it's actually a really sweet site. And of course, when I did do the interviews with Billy, everybody was like, oh man, you ought to get him back on. So there's your opportunity, right? And he's got stuff on there that you can't see anywhere else. That's what I like about it. So you get some stuff that not just the average person can see. Les Sweet, good to see you in there. He said, what are your thoughts on Edge of a Wonder TV? I'm not even familiar with that. Kyle, you said, I'm back. Had to do some stuff. Ain't nothing wrong with that, brother. Good to see you back in there. Oh, yeah, Archetype Net. He said, the transcripts from Apollo 17 lunar excursion dialogue is the most interesting aspect. Listen to the questions they asked the ground control. That and actual, like the coded messages they're going back and forth with, right? Yeah. Well, Kyle, he said the aliens brought coronavirus. Well, the funny thing about it is, what were they saying? They said something about China had something that crashed there, not just prior to that, and this is how it broke up. I don't believe all that, but that was actually manufactured. But is it unheard of to maybe have something that come from, outer space and crash in it? Why not? You got microbial life that lives on it. Why couldn't you have something like that lives on it? And who knows? I'm not saying that's what coronavirus is. I'm just saying that I don't believe that's the case. That was definitely biowarfare. So, yeah. Hey, Kyle. Appreciate your support, man. You said, I'm back. Did I miss anything? I don't know. It depends on how long you've been going. I was just talking and showing everyone the forbiddenknowledge.tv site. And, I was asked everybody to check it out. So it's very interesting. It's got a lot of cool stuff on there to see. And, it's just a well-rounded site as far as I'm concerned. It just has a whole bunch of everything for you to check out. And no matter what it is, it's beyond it. And the site is growing, like I said, exponentially. And doing what they can to get everybody, put the information on there. Their whatever it may be that they want to share, they're putting that on the site as well. So it's growing more and more. And for sleazy, what is it, $7.50 or whatever it was, $7.75 a month, well worth it, especially right now everybody's in lockdown. Good to have. And like I said, the site can only get better, right? Panspermia hypothesis, yes, absolutely. Archetype net, rather. Panspermia is no doubt. I mean, they're thinking that's the case, and that's why some scientists say we may be the Martians, and they're thinking because of that. It's really weird because you can listen to. It's like a time frame where they're saying, like, how long has Mars been around, and it took to form, and all this other stuff. Some scientists say it was before life was there before actual Earth, and then some of them are saying around the same time. I don't think they really truthfully know. Yeah, Kyle's asking again. People ask everybody, do you know anyone with COVID? And I'll be truthful, I don't know. I know people who have had, myself anyway, because I'm one of these necessity worker kind of things. I don't know of anybody who's had it in my job. Now, I know people who've had, everything from allergies. And I know people who've had bad colds. Nobody with COVID. So, I don't know. But there's a lot of people out there that do have it. There's no doubt. Again, appreciate your support, Kyle. And that's the thing. It's like, some people are saying it's a bunch of bogus stuff, right? Like COVID's not real. That could be more untrue. It's definitely real. Now, as far as they're definitely blowing the numbers up, only because, like I said, we have a lot of people. Again, let's push aside any kind of colds or viruses or any of that sort. You still got people that die of old age. You got people, unfortunately, like babies that die, when they just come out of the womb or shortly after that, whatever the reason is. And then, again, you add all kinds of the list of things of people dying from, right? Now, if a person dies, in fact, what was it? There was a friend that I know of that she put something on there, said where a family member died of a heart attack, and they claimed it was COVID. It's not COVID. It was an actual heart attack, and they're trying to get them to change it on the actual get death certificate or whatever the hell it is, saying no, this was the actual cause. It was not COVID. So are they just throwing anybody who dies now, they're saying it's COVID? I mean, I think it's a little, if it's a little overinflated numbers there, if you know what I mean. Now, it is real as the day is long, though. Don't be fooled. It is real. Lanterns Blanco, he said, it's funny how our scientists, just jumped on me here, keep coming back and basically admitting that they really don't know shit about anything. Well, exactly. I mean, it's not that they don't know shit in a sense, right? Because I think they're just trying to snow job the people, but because they know a certain thing at a certain time, let's say 10 years ago they knew something, well, now there's new information out. So now they have to change their way of thinking. So that makes sense to me, right? Which is crazy. But it's not crazy in a sense if you really think about it. It's science. What is it too? Let's see. I don't know if you guys I know a lot of you guys are familiar with Brian Cox. He's a physicist. I'll give you guys the link to this. I don't have it right now. I mean, I can't just put it on there because I'm actually on live. But I'll put this down in there in the links because you guys want to check this out. Now, Brian, he's a funny guy, but he's a really smart dude. They had like a clip of it. He was on with Joe Rogan. I like Joe Rogan. He's a good guy. And what was funny about it is he was talking about the universe. This is what he said, and I took notes down, and this is what he said. There's 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. Observable. Now, in other words, what they can see, right? The Milky Way galaxy has 2 billion stars. Okay, we're going to go down the list from largest to smallest. Most of these stars have planetary systems. Okay, it is estimated that there are 20 billion Earth-like planets in the Milky Way galaxy alone. Okay, and he's saying the universe is much bigger than bigger than the piece that we see. So in other words, there's a lot we're not seeing, right? The universe formed 13.8 billion years ago. The universe could have always been there, okay? Because they were talking about the Big Bang. This is where it gets interesting. He says the Big Bang could be a repeated event. Starts to make you think differently. Again, the scientists wouldn't have said that 20 years ago. But again, the more they learn, boom, 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 they become wiser and see what's going on. But again, 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. The Milky Way galaxy has 2 billion stars. Most of these stars have planetary systems. It is estimated that there are 20 billion Earth-like galaxies alone. That's insane. So you think about these zeros added on, right? That's quite a bit. What's going on, Andrew Haberman? Good to see you there. Yeah, you're saying you said a lot of science is just trial and error and some luck. Well, I mean, they'll do, scientific experiments or peer-reviewed. So they'll have multiple scientists do the same thing to see if they get the same results. And then if they do, then that's when they make the decision. This is what we believe is going on, the best of our knowledge as of today. So, yeah, I don't have any problem with them changing their minds because they're learning something new every day, right? But my question would be because a lot of places out there like SETI and stuff like that, they said, well, and I might even have that video. I'll let you guys see this part too. And you'll hear Neil deGrasse Tyson say this too. If we're all made of star stuff and it's been blasted across the universe, then if we all have the same ingredients and it's blasted all over the universe, why wouldn't there be other life somewhere else? You'd have to be totally closing your mind to that idea to not believe it because it makes no sense. It really doesn't. To me, it's just like, you can almost guarantee there's life out there, and maybe not quite like us, but you can almost guarantee that, there is a lot of humanoid kind of people like us. You can almost guarantee it. Maybe a lot more advanced. Because, again, I said this before, if you go to the universe, and if you would try to catch up to the beginning of it, so in other words, let's say the Big Bang, and let's say it's a repeated thing, and it just makes things expand faster every time there's a Big Bang, if that's the theory, and if that's true. Well, what about the very beginning? So in other words, it started, it blew out, kind of like, rings when you drop a pedal in a lake, and it goes out. Well, that first ring on the outer edge, that's where life would have started first. So how advanced would they have been today? If we were 4.5 billion years old, whatever it is this planet is, 4.6, whatever it is. Okay, how old would that planets and that planetary system be on the outer ring, meaning the first, line that went out as far as the universe expanding? How old would that be? Think about it. That's why I think it's closed-minded for anybody to say, oh, no, there's nobody else but us. That's it. We're just special. No. Well, it's planets within galaxies, Doc Jock. So if you think about it again, 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe, and then you got the Milky Way galaxy, has 2 billion stars, and then of course you go on to this, each of these stars have planetary systems, and of course it's estimated 20 billion Earth-like planets. Wow, that's insane, and that's why there's no way I can be, think otherwise. In other words, I absolutely believe there's life other places, and I think we're starting to see more and more of this. You're starting to see these UFOs. You're starting to see all of this weird stuff going out in space. We're seeing these things on our moon that should not be there. We're seeing things on Mars in these photos that kind of you got to like decode in a sense because of the manipulation. But no doubt, what we're seeing is leftover life on these planets. Again, this solar system, our solar system, might have been a stepping stone, because again, they said back in 65 million years ago, our solar system was in a different part of the galaxy. So what makes us think that maybe some other alien, beings or whatever didn't like leapfrog over to our solar system, start, life here? And keep in mind, it's a slow process. It doesn't just zip through the galaxy, so it's just taking time. It's moving millions of years, whatever. And then they vacated the solar system, went on to something else or whatever. Who the hell knows, right? And maybe that's why when these planets started to die in our solar system, they said, time to jump off, man. That's it. Of course, it's all, speculation, but, why couldn't it be? We don't know. David Porter, Brian Cox is a smart dude. Owned, but smart. Yeah, I mean, there's only so many things he's going to let out, right? I mean, if you are privy to this information, meaning you go, okay, well, I know everything. I know there is absolutely life out there. and they know it for a fact, then clearly they're not going to say anything, right? Of course, you said definitely more chances there's other life than there isn't. Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind. Hudson Crouch, you said, I'd love to see a dog-like creature from another Earth-like planet. Who knows? They don't have to be exactly like us. Their gases on their planet might be slightly different. Maybe more carbon than oxygen. Maybe a whole lot more oxygen than carbon. Who the hell knows, right? So things would be different, but how different? If it's got almost the same kind of structure, meaning atmospheric conditions and everything else as our planet, very similar. Who knows, right? Maybe it's just animals on the planets over there. Who the hell knows? Maybe funky insects. But you can almost guarantee there's life on those planets one way or the other. And if there's other life, we're at the beginning, and I use the term beginning of the universe, which would be on the outer stretches, right? Then you can bet they're so far advanced, it'd be crazy to believe or think just how advanced it'd be. It'd be almost impossible to get your mind wrapped around it, right? That would be crazy. And cool at the same time, of course. Let me see. Kyle, you were saying we are smaller than what everybody thinks we think. We're big, but we're not. We are microscopic small, and we are living in a universal cell. Well, the thing is, when you stop and think about it, well, it's just like a grain. What do they say? It's like a grain of salt or a grain of sand. Doesn't matter what it is, on a beach. I mean, it's just like we're that tiny, man. We're just like a speck of dust, and that's pretty much all we are. So when you stop and think about the vast, universe out there, you can almost guarantee we're not the only ones. We're not the only life. Might be something much larger than us, much smaller. We don't know. Like we speculate about Mars. It could be very, very small beings. But then if you think about the gravity, it would dictate that they would be taller than us. Of course, we don't know what the gravity was back then when the planet was whole, meaning it had an atmosphere and, full atmosphere and water and all that other stuff. So it's things that, you have to, think about. Yeah, Kyle, I see what you're saying. You're saying, and that's why I say we are a cell. Again, thank you for your support. Yeah, you got that right, Ike Toss. He said, let's hope we're not ants on the galactic right away. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like people are saying, if they came to this planet, would they completely dominate us or whatever? And I was watching one of these, in fact, it was another Joe Rogan one, had, what was his name? I don't remember his name. I think his last name was Poole or something like that. But he was talking about, who was it said that, anyway, he was talking about how they said at one time, it would be a bad idea if, they came here because would you feel regret if you stepped on an anthill? So if they came here, it would be like dire, conditions or things bad would happen, right? To me, I don't believe that's the case. I think, because, first of all, he said, well, they would probably just take our resources and just rip it out from under us because we'd be powerless against them. But I don't think that's the case. I think if they've been around for millions of years, they know we're actually evolving. We're, becoming what we are today. So, and this is the reason why they just leave us alone. Maybe they just said, they're basically in the infancy stage. Let them just do their thing, and we'll just check up on them. Who knows? And maybe they're just trying to help us and stop us from blowing ourselves to pieces, right? Kyle, you said yes. They're called the Watchers. Yeah. You got that right, Mimi. You said not the friendliest place to visit. Well, that's the other thing, too. It's like, some people say, well, they wouldn't want to come and meet us because they're saying, man, these barbarians can't even get along with themselves. Look at them, And the other side of the token is saying, well, if they're talking to the elite and it's just them talking with them and not obviously talking with us on the planet, but just the elite people, then that's what it is basically, and it's not anything to do with us, the public, right? I don't know. To me, if they've been here, they could have blown us to pieces a long time ago, taking what they've wanted. There's like everybody's like, oh, maybe they'll be after our resources. It depends. Again, how much different is their planet, and would they need our resources? Question you should be asking, right? Yeah, Jerry McDonald. That's what I was just saying. They think we're nuts. Why would they visit? Alien Tenor, said, how soon as humanity, things vibrating on me here, can space travel and we're like what we see, what we are, boom, game over. Well, I mean, if the space treaty is real, like they claim it is, and there's documents claiming that, then they said basically, listen, we don't care if you guys basically kill each other off because it's like the natural way of your life. We're not going to get in the way of that. But don't bring that crap out in space. So they're probably saying as long as you guys can, you want to be spacefaring, go for it. But you try to do anything outside of space, yeah, you're done. So, I mean, I don't know how true that is, but if it is, makes perfect sense. Keep your crap to yourselves over there on your own planet. You want to kill each other off, do it, but don't do it out here. Well, you wouldn't think so, Jack. You said, I would think if you were trans-dimensional, interstellar, you wouldn't need earthly resources. No, I wouldn't think so either. To me, it's like ourselves. We get our own resources. We know what we can use to fuel our civilization, right? Well, they got their own. So if we went to another planet that didn't have anything that would help us fuel our resources or any of that sort, we wouldn't touch it. We wouldn't be interested, right? Unless, of course, we said, ooh, that would be better than the resource that we use. Why don't we go ahead and test it out? That might be. So, again, it's things to think about, right? I don't know if you guys have seen this, the little, I've had it on the screen here, Mars helicopter animation. This is for the 2020 rover, and it's going to be on Mars in 2021. Oh, I gotta love the tech on there. I love when you get a technical glitch. Thanks, guys, for telling me that. So this is what I find interesting about this. I find it interesting because we have the high-rise camera that is on. It's built on the MRO, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, right? We know that thing can see 4-foot swath on the ground. Okay, so you stop and you think, okay, so why do you need this helicopter? What's the purpose? Makes no sense. So it makes you wonder. You say, okay, so we can see the cameras that are underneath the belly of that little helicopter. And it's not little, guys. The blades on this thing are huge. It's probably, a good size from your waist up. I mean, it's a good size helicopter. So now, okay, so what do they need the cameras facing down for? Think about that a minute. They say it's to help navigate the actual rover. Well, okay, we'll go with that. But the 2012 rover, the one that's up there right now, the Curiosity, didn't need a helicopter. It's got its own avoidance cameras. It can drive autonomously. Why do they need this again? I think it's to get up and inside things, get up and over walls, get up and over see things that this rover cannot do. And of course, this is only a test anyway, right? It's to see if it will in fact function. Now, somebody in there said, well, there's no way they could do that because, the atmosphere had to be pretty thick for those blades to work. Well, if I'm not mistaken, they kept testing the RPMs of these blades, right? It's up to 8,500 RPMs. So that's pretty good. You got the opposing blades. That's pretty damn good. And they simulated that in a cell where they had pretty much the same atmospheric conditions in a test cell, and they made it fly. At first, because this thing would never get off the ground, and then they increased the blade RPMs, and they were able to get liftoff on this. So now they want to see what's going to happen on Mars. My question is this. If they claim it's as windy as it is on Mars, how would this thing survive? I mean, it's going to land. It's got solar panels on the top. You can see that solar panel rectangular piece over the blades. Okay. Wouldn't it knock this thing over? I mean, what would it do? Wouldn't it trash this thing somehow? This is what I'm saying. What are your thoughts on that, guys? I mean, I just find it a little amusing that they're using it. Oh, it's going to help guide it. No, it's not going to guide anything. It's there to look up and over things that this rover can't go into or around or over. And they want to get a top view of these things maybe, as opposed to just kind of looking over. Because, the rover does have its own arm where it can actually, it's got its own mass cam where it's going to go like 7 feet in the air. So it can go pretty high, but that's it. What happens if something's much larger and they want to fly up and over and see down into something? Well, that's a whole different ball game, right? Massanissa, yeah, you gotta love technology. I'm looking at this thing and I'm going, is this thing even, oh, hold on, the audio's not working. And what happened? So I clicked it off and turned it back on, and to see what would happen, off and then back on, and then it worked. So you gotta love YouTube, right? Yeah, so I did repeat what I said, Kyle, so everybody would get it there. David R., very expressionate without sound. Yeah, I know you like that. It's just like hands. People going, can you do like signing? Maybe we'd understand it better. But yeah, anyway, back to the audio. We're good. Bush Corey's in there. What's going on? Adam, yeah, so we have issues. No sound. Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think of that? What do you guys think about the helicopter? Do you think it's, what do you guys think it's actually for? Legitimate what they're saying as far as help guide the rover? I mean, you guys have your own thoughts, right? What do you think? I'm speculating as is to what they could be doing with this thing, but I really do believe it's not just for the help guide that thing. Now, maybe in some aspects, sure, but I think it's much more than that. I think it's to inspect what they're looking at, which is, to me, is a a civilization in ruins. And because this thing can't get over certain things or can't see inside other walls or structures or anything, that's what this thing's for. And it's going to send them information, photos and everything, data to the rover, and then it will then send it to the orbiters. That's what the whole planet for this thing is, the whole planet itself. Elaine Walls, what's going on? Good to see you in there. Must have jumped in there when I was flapping my gums and not having my audio turned on. David Porter, would NASA lie? No. Yeah, we're just all making this stuff up. They would never do anything like that, would they? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is third eye open. Yeah, I mean, yes, that seems likely too. You said that the windstorms would trash it. Unless, I mean, because the way they're talking about is this thing is going to come from the underbelly of the actual rover. Okay, is it going to crawl up inside it every time there's a storm? Or is this thing going to just like, it doesn't look like it has anchors of any of that sort. So how are they going to stop that from happening if they have to have these windstorms? Doesn't make any sense. But they said if this one works out okay, they will send more. So, yeah. Mario Dami said going inside deep craters. That could be too. Like I said, I believe there is going to be a lot of the real studies going on with this copter, right? I truly believe that. But I think there's a little bit more to it than that too. Because, like I said, when they claim it's for the rover, I don't believe that's true at all. The other rover we have on there now has no copter at all. At least that's what they're telling us. They're not saying that. But yet it can guide itself. It's remote control. Or it's autonomous. It can actually drive by itself. You know, when Mars ends up on the other side of the sun and we're here, it can navigate by itself until it becomes in contact again with Earth. So, and of course, if it knows it's on the other side, because it can calculate and everything else, then it'll stop and it'll ping and tell, you know, ground control here that I'm doing good, I'm here, I'm going to sit tight until I get my next instructions. So it communicates regardless. So, but it does it by itself. It doesn't need a copter to do this. There you go, Mimi. Yeah, Martian will be like, hey, we're over here, dummies. Martian's waving at it. Yeah, Kyle, you know, it makes you wonder, you know, it may very well be true, right? Government is only in it for themselves. They are not here to help you. Well, I think a lot of stuff, like I said before, right? The technology gets watered down to us, like microwaves, fiber optics, things of that sort. I think it actually does get, you know, it does get whittled down to us. So I'm grateful for that. And I love the idea of NASA being, you know, wanting to be spacefaring, you know, research and get out there and so on and so forth. Yeah, I find that really good and interesting. But the lies we can do without. I think they should be a little bit more forthcoming with that, or a lot more forthcoming. But again, I've had my predictions what they're going to start doing. You know, microbial, they'll find it because this one here is going to be landed in a different area. And so we'll be curious to see how that happens because they said it's going to be in an area where there used to be river and water flows. I went, okay, makes sense to me, right? And there's a good chance you're going to find microbial life there. Or if it rushed, meaning oceans rushed, rushed, or rivers rushed, and somehow plant life or whatever kind of life got washed and then got muddied over it, well, then it's going to be buried and it's going to be preserved. Okay. Isn't what Curiosity is supposed to be there for? They're supposed to be in a dried up lake bed in Mount Sharp or at Mount Sharp in Gale Crater. So what goes on there? What gives? That's supposed to be, again, in a dried up lake. So you should see that kind of stuff there too, but I guess they're saying they're going to see a little bit more this way. We'll see, right? Go back here a little bit. Yeah, I know you also supported again, Kyle, a couple of times, so I appreciate it. There's something else you said here too. You were saying about the Pentagon comes clean about the Tic Tac video. Yeah, I mean they're stating it now because they don't want any. What they said was misconceptions, right? So now you have to try to figure out, is it theirs? They claim it was theirs, right? But is it? Are they willing to say, oh yeah, by the way, it is actually alien creatures that are coming to this planet? Would people freak out? And I'm talking about the average public. I'm not talking about everybody here in the chat. Because clearly we'd go, oh, shit, that's awesome. Let's see it. You know what I mean? So we'd be down with that. Would the average public be okay with that? I don't think they'd freak out. I think they'd be like, really? That's interesting. Could you tell us more? I don't think they'd be freaked out. What do you guys think? And I know you guys have voiced your opinions before. You said, I don't think that's the case. Some people say, well, yeah, because it basically derail anything that's religious and people may freak. And it'll stop the actual, religious to begin with, right? So, it would stop the control. People would be like, oh, the hell with religion, blah, 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 blah. Or we'd have like a social breakdown, right? Who knows? I don't think that's the case in this day and age. Maybe back in the day, yes. Not now. Alien Tenno, thank you for your support. I appreciate you. You said the drones are for flying over Cydonia recon. I think the whole Dawn missions, everything they've been up there is a recon mission, right? Again, they've seen something. We got to go back. Again, this is the reason why I started doing the moon stuff, because I started seeing a lot more moon. But I was doing the Mars first, right? I said, wait a minute. The reason why I want to start doing the lunar is because if they've seen something on the moon that isn't ours, or anybody's on the planet, no nations, no countries, didn't have anything back then, and it's on the moon, who put it there? That's the key. And if it's not ours or anybody else's here on the planet, wow. Again, and we all know about the Apollo 11, astronauts. We know what happened with them when they came back for the press conference. So again, they seen something that totally blew their mind away. But what I think is that if they seen it there, then they went, oh hell. If they were here on this moon, and they probably seen already technology here on Earth, and they probably never told the public about it. But then, if that's the case, then you have, wait a minute, if there's something on the moon, clearly there's something here in the solar system, because they're not just going to stop at the moon. I wouldn't think so. Why would they come to the Earth? And of course, like I said, if there was hidden technologies here on Earth, then, and I was reading about that, I heard something about that today, that it was an archaeological dig. It was, I'm trying to remember if it was archaeologists that dug this thing up. But, so there was technology that they found, and they're finding it all over the planet, but they're not saying anything to anybody, right? Okay, they were here on Earth, here on the moon. Why would they not go to any planet in our solar system? Does that make any sense to anybody? No. You know darn well that they would absolutely hide everything. And I agree, Elaine. I was saying this previously. You said if aliens were here to harm us, they already would have done it. Absolutely, because they wouldn't think nothing of just blowing the shit out of everything. Hey James, what's going on? Didn't even see you creep in there. I appreciate your support, man. You said great work again, man. Well, again, I do appreciate it. Appreciate your support. Good to see you in there. I keep typing that. Oakland would cream his pants if that was true. Well, again, like I was reading off what Brian Cox was saying, and of course I'll give you guys the links to that. And I'll give you the small link where they get right to the point because they talk about aliens, him and Joe Rogan. And then, of course, there's a whole thing of it where he talks about, everything from A to B, or A to Z, because they really went a bunch of talking about a whole bunch of stuff. And really interesting, and I think the whole video, I think it's like 2 hours, a little over 2 hours. So really, really interesting video. And of course, the other one's only like, I think 12, 13 minutes long as far as they talk aliens. But pretty darn cool. David Porty said only the hyper-paranoid authorities would freak. Well, yeah, I think so to a certain degree. I don't know. Like I said, in this day and age, we've seen so many, videos like Independence Day, which, again, people would freak because they'd be going, what happens if they're like them? Or Contact, which is a lot better. It's like the flip side, right? Where Jodie Foster gets, to ride in that, where they get the plans and they built that, like pod type thing, that ball. Basically, I think she went interdimensional. But anyway, it was like this, they're saying we've been here for millions of years, we've been traveling, been doing this for millions of years, whatever, so on and so forth. It was actually saying, but you guys are not ready. That's basically they were saying, you guys are not ready. But really, really good, that was Contact, but really, really good stuff. I like watching stuff like that, but I also like real science, and like I said, that's what I like about Brian Cox. He's got some good stuff. Weird World, you taking off? All right, man, you said gotta go. See you later, friends. Well, good to have you in there, man. So you take care there, right? Kyle, ET is here to help, but our stupid-ass government said no. Well, that's a fact. But again, are we talking about just a normal government? Are we talking about the basically higher-ups where they have all the say. Again, the actual owners of this world, right? Because at some point, there has to be like a pyramid kind of thing, right? There's got to be the major higher up, and basically it just whittles down to control, to right down to the public. So, yeah, it'd be something to think about, too. Oh, okay, Michael. So you've seen that. You said Rogan and Poole was great. Lots of good topics discussed, and UFO topic was covered well. Glad to see Rogan back on UFOs for a minute. He wasn't total doubt. Yeah, I don't know how anybody what I like about him, he doesn't believe in all of the conspiracy stuff because a lot of it's like really full blown out of control. But I think Poole was really, really kind of naive in a lot of subjects and a lot of stuff that he talked about. You can actually see Rogan starting to get kind of like pissy with him a little bit. And I don't mean in a way like he was going to jump over the table and beat the crap out of him, but he was definitely getting like, no, that's just kind of a stupid idea. He's saying to him and stuff. So, but it's still a good video regardless. Lantimus Blanco, he said, I'm cool with it as long as they don't want to rape us or eat us. Yeah, that would be a bad day, wouldn't it? Well, it started off as good. Got up all right on the right side of the bed. Now, some alien's lunch. Yeah, exactly. The end of contact. Yep. That was a pretty cool ending. I just said, well, wait a minute. You're only going for a minute, X amount of minutes, but wait a minute. It's got recording, even though there's nothing on it, for X amount of hours. Give it the grant. So, yeah, really good stuff. Jack Lambert, you said, imagine if everything Alex Jones says was true. Well, I don't know if anybody can be 100% true. I don't care what you're doing, like myself. You can only speculate a lot of times. And, he has a lot of sources that he gets his information from, but, sources can be, they can either, inflate the information or, can be wrong on everything. You can't be totally right 100%. But let's say he's only 60%, 70% true. Well, that's a lot of stuff. I mean, I've seen a lot of his podcasts and stuff, and yeah, if a lot of that is true, yeah, that's not good. Miss Heard's in there. What's going on? He said, hello, everyone. I am late, but better late than ever. Absolutely right. Yeah, pretty much, Kyle. Yeah, you said there's a government that sits at the big round table, and they have final say, just like the mafia. Pretty much. Adam, he said, I think Brian Cox has it wrong, though, with his theory saying that there may not be life out there. Our universe is too young for life. Oh, yeah, I mean, well, if you've watched it, then you know what I'm saying. If you've watched, I don't know if you watched the one with Joe Rogan, but he's like, oh, no. I mean, because he breaks it down. He's pretty intelligent when it comes to that stuff, Joe. So, because he's talked to many people, he's done his own research, but what I like about it is like he just calls it how he sees it. He's like, no, that's just stupid to say. Of course, he didn't say it in exact words, but it was the way he said it. He says, I think he did say it in some ways like that, but he said, no. I mean, there's far too many galaxies, stars, planets to be absolutely nothing out there alive. That's the way I look at it. That's my thoughts. There's just no way. James Cragen. Cragen. Chris, I was away from home in a place where the network was very bad, so I am catching up with all your great work for the last 8 weeks and looking fantastic, but I am back in the mix again. Oh, I appreciate it, man. It's been a while. Yeah, now that you mention it, it's like, yeah, you have been going for quite a while. Yeah, Lance, as you said, sources can be nutty. You're right about that. Let's see. Let's try this one over here. I'll let you guys check this out as well. This time I'll remember this thing's off, by the way. And hopefully it doesn't glitch up on me.
Anyway. Okay, so why do this SETI experiment anyway?
Why are you interested in knowing whether there's anything out there? I mean, you might not be able to converse, right? The distances might be too large. Maybe the differences in cultural level are so enormous that communication becomes impossible. Still, we would like to know.
Even if there's nothing but a cosmic dial tone, we'll at least be able to infer that they survived their emerging and infantile technology, the stage that we're going through ourselves.
The search for extraterrestrial intelligence is a quest, and it's a voyage of exploration. We're trying to, not so boldly, but we're trying to go where no one has gone before and discover something.
And maybe we'll discover that we are the only intelligent life, but there's lots of bacteria all around. Maybe we'll discover something completely different.
I find it hard to believe that we're the only ones in our entire universe that can appreciate that there is a universe out there.
Any chance they're already here?
They may be here, and I don't mean that they're showing up every other Wednesday and abducting Aunt Sally for some mischief on a spacecraft.
If the asteroid belt were full of alien junk, we wouldn't know it yet. If there was a buried obelisk under Tycho crater in the moon, we would not have discovered that yet.
There could well be probes, artifacts, even large slow ships within our solar system that we wouldn't have detected yet.
And likewise, Mars. Okay, the face is not a face. It's an eroded rock form. But we could find something there. We should certainly be on the lookout.
It's possible that there could be, in fact, within our own solar system, some evidence of an extraterrestrial technology.
Yeah, but what if E.T. actually turns out to be evil?
Some people have expressed concern that if we contact E.T., they're not going to be good guys, but they may actually have evil intentions.
They want our water, they want our gene stock, they want our land.
Who knows what their intentions might be?
That's an uncomfortable thought, that there could be species out there that sort of look for radio signals, and when they see them, they come and sort of sterilize the planet. I don't think we can entirely rule out that scenario.
I don't spend a lot of time wondering what they'd look like or what they have for breakfast.
People of Earth, your attention, please.
I presume it's not me. The biologies would not be compatible, and that an advanced technology that could get here would have better things to do with its time than use it as a food source.
There are unidentified flying objects. There are also unidentified things in my refrigerator when I come back from a tour. That doesn't mean they're from outer space.
You've got your UFO believers or your abductee experiencers, or these people that generally don't come at it from what I would consider a rational scientific approach.
The interesting thing about the UFOs and the alien abductions and so on is the less people know about science and space, the more likely they are to have these experiences, which is the unidentified thing. People who look into space for a living don't see as many things that are unidentified because they know more about it.
But yet they reach the same conclusion, exactly. There's company out there. The universe is so big, how could we be the only ones?
This is really exciting.
If they're really there, why don't we see them?
There are lots of possibilities for an inhabited universe in which we don't happen to see the aliens locally. I mean, yeah, maybe they have no interest in this particular part of the galaxy. Maybe they've been around, but they happened to arrive a billion years ago, took a few photos, and left.
The real test comes in actually detecting the signal from ET and, if we're lucky, decoding a message that might be in it.
The search for company in the cosmos is both scientific and spiritual, and it's one that may have a specific moment where we've found what we're looking for.
It may not occur in my lifetime, or my kids' lifetimes, or maybe a few more after that. But it's still important enough that you have to try.
All right. So I just had to check something out here. So we're good now. But anyway, so what do you guys think about this? The reason why I did this video is because of this. Because I love the idea that SETI is doing the work that they're doing, right? Absolutely awesome. One thing I don't like about Seth is that he's the one that said, oh, wait a minute. He said, what was it? He said, well, when he was talking about those light pulses, right? And one was like every 16 days or whatever the hell it was. And he said, well, people are thinking it's aliens, but, that's impossible because you've got one that's way over here might be 250 million, light years away, and this one over here may be only 20, 30 light years away. I'm thinking, what the hell does that even mean? It's kind of like old school if you use just regular radio waves, right? Well, there's a guy over here. If you've ever talked on a radio or CB or any of that sort, well, this guy's in the next town. You're over there. Does that mean you're not two people talking? And here's the thing. When you have light pulses, you can get so much more information in that light as you can in a regular, standard radio waves. Light, I mean, it's like we have fiber optics today. You can get so much more information through there than you can just a regular telephone line or something like that. So there could be communicating throughout the galaxy or the universe this way through light pulses, and they're doing it every 16 days or whatever the thing is. I don't know. But for him to say that, nah. I think they have a gag order themselves. I think if they find him, and tell you what about that, what was it, the WOW signal, remember that? I think they know that ET's out there, and I think they're studying this stuff, and they know exactly where to find it. There's more than one of these radio telescope areas in the world, and they have different people, radio telescopes looking at different parts of the sky or in space, and I can almost guarantee they've already had signals, they know what's going on, so on and so forth. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that's the case or no? They haven't found anything. Stephen Porter, I think you're taking off there. You have yourself a good day, man. Good to have you in there, right? Archetype Net, no, it didn't crash. I just had to take care of something on the other computer here just to make sure it was just because it was doing something, it was doing another task and it was kind of lagging it a little bit. It's just when I'm seeing what you guys are seeing, basically, and it just kind of lagged out on me, so I'm just checking it real quick. So that was my fault on that one. That was truthfully my fault. Doc Truck, you said, or our monkey butts are the most intelligent being in the universe. Yeah, see, that's far from that. I would never think that in a million years. Yeah, definitely not. Because it's just the way, again, forget about any of this stuff we've been, checking out these photos of Mars or the moon. I mean, just looking up And just if you just go just by strictly science, which I'm cool with, I love science, and everything's science. When again, what Brian Cox was saying, I read you like basically took notes about what he said in this video. And again, I'll give you the links to both of those, the full-length one with Joe Rogan and the shorter one. And then if you guys want any other links to these that I've covered, just let me know, and we'll go ahead and throw them down. But what I find interesting is that, we got 2 trillion galaxies in observable universe. In other words, what we can see, just that alone. What? There's no way. Come on. And if there's 20 billion Earth-like planets in the Milky Way galaxy alone, I'm sorry, that's like mind-boggling. And, I'm not saying there's life on every single planet, but 20, what is it, 20 billion? Oh, my God. You know as well as I do, guys, that, there's life on these planets. And it doesn't have to be humanoids. It doesn't have to be alien. It could be just trees and all the flying creatures. It could be stuff like that. I'd love to see that stuff. I'm sure you guys are down with it, too. I'm sure you guys would be like, yeah, bring that shit on. Michael Stocky said 100% aliens are real. Just our moon has a bunch of activity. Don't even have to look far. You got to have be nuts to tell the truth, or have nuts to tell the truth. Yeah, absolutely. Rolando Alves, I didn't see you jump in there. But you said, got to go. God bless. Well, God bless you as well. Have yourself a good day. Thanks for popping in there. Sometimes I don't see you guys because I'm literally focused on this screen here that I'm, on the information I'm trying to convey. So, the other screen's over here. And, the one I'm, actually doing the live feed is on the monitor up there. So, yeah. Kylie said, when the planets are moving around a sun, that is life. Well, again, being in a perfect zone, the Goldilocks zone, like kind of Mars and Earth is, it's like, you can have life on either or planet. And it just happens to be the ingredients for life, a certain amount of the sun and light and gases and so on and so forth. It doesn't have to be life like we know it. It could be any kind of life, even if it's simple microbial or macro. It doesn't really matter. At some point, there's life. And, this is the reason why they want to go to any planet that has water on it. Might have a decent amount of oxygen on it. Because they're automatically thinking, well, it's going to be something similar to us. Because as we know it, the ingredients and the gases that the human body needs, it's like, okay, so the ingredients here on Earth, it's got to be exactly like that, or else we're not going to find anything. Well, what the hell? Why? Why would you have, you can find life anywhere, and even if it's just organics, right? So even if it's funky organics, what? Kyle, you said planets rotating around a star is life. Well, true. I mean, these guys, and this is why I applaud them. And by the way, thank you again for your support. When you stop and think about it, I love the idea that they're trying to go out. I want to go out there and explore. And that's everybody's down with that, because if you're into science, period, that's just awesome. So, but what is the criteria for looking at, okay, we need to go to that planet, that moon, so on and so forth? Well, it's got to be something they're thinking, okay, it's got to be a certain amount of gases, it's got to be a certain amount of something that they think that could be life in it. But what happens if they're way off base, and it could be something that thrives in total carbon? How the hell do we know? Just because we don't doesn't mean something else can't. A lot of the plants thrive off of carbon. That's why they said talk to your plants, because they give off oxygen, you give them carbon. That's just the way it is. So, but how do we know these things don't breathe in carbon? Like other things, or just breathe in oxygen. We don't know. We just make the assumption, although it's not just silly assumptions, because it is scientific. But I don't know. I think they need to look at just about everything out there, and I'm sure they are. Because I'm sure there's people out there that thought the same thing and said, what happens if life isn't, what we think it is here on Earth, and maybe we should stop broadening our horizons and really start looking, right? Michael Stock, I tried to go to Los Angeles Observatory and asked to view the moon with their giant scope. With a close-up lens, and they told me to leave. Is that true? See, I've been to, actually I haven't been, but a friend of mine's been to the observatories, and they don't have any problem with you doing that as long as you sit down at a computer, and it looks like you're actually looking over, because you can literally move the mouse, and according to them, you're looking at the moon. No. I want to look through the eyepiece. And I want to look right through the television. I don't want to have a computer hooked up to this because you don't know what you're looking at a software and not real moon. You have no idea. I'd say the same thing. I want to see the real deal here. I want to magnify it as much as possible. I want to look right through this eyepiece. They'd probably tell you, yeah, you need to hit the bricks. Mr. Wayne, what's going on? Good to see you there, man. James Gregan, you said, Chris, man, we don't need SETI. Just check out your own videos, man. End of story, people. I mean, honestly, who are they fooling, for hell's sake? They just insult our intelligence, man. Come on, like, yeah, I mean, it's true. It's like, you know, sometimes you got to do your own work, right? Like I said, I'm into anything that's got to do with space. I love that stuff. I'd rather watch or listen to peer-reviewed stuff. I prefer that. But then there's stuff that you just see in these photos that just like, it's mind-boggling. And you go, okay, according to science, this stuff shouldn't exist. Ooh, he's a conspiracy theorist. No. I don't think it's conspiracy if you're literally showing these things, you know, as fact. And I don't mean like super fact because we can only speculate at what they are. But if you're looking at something and you go, wait a minute, this stands out from the environment and it clearly looks mechanical, then what the hell? Yeah. Which reminds me, because we said we were going to get to one of these things here. I got a small pan we can look at if you guys are down with that. Let's go to this one here. And this one's actually old. This is actually a 2016, I believe. Let's scroll down a little bit. Yep. So it's 0.35 gigapixels. And it was on April 3rd, 2016. It was uploaded by Neville Thompson. Of course, the pan was put together by him. And guys, look how many pictures there are. Look at the little ridges on the bottom of this. You know, this right here could be like one photo right here. That's it. you just don't realize how small or how tedious this stuff really is to do, right? Let me jump all the way down to the bottom here. Tempty Girl says, reminder to the new peoples, hit that like button. Yeah, slam it down, guys. Hammer time. That's truth right there, Jack. He said the light speed is the basis of our physics. If you can lessen or cancel mass or bend, warp time, space, then speed isn't a factor. Our equations or math is out the door. That's true. Absolutely. Photography, light, and magic. I agree. And that's why I was saying, because we automatically make the assumption that, you know, we may see people identical to us or humanoids like us. Well, they may differ in many ways, right? Might be taller, maybe due to their gravity, might be shorter, maybe heavier gravity. Just what they breathe in, absolutely. You said the odds in the alien species being able to breathe our atmosphere is slim. Our planets are probably different. Or we can't make that assumption either, because we can also say, what happens if it is a lot like Earth? Because again, the ingredients were spread out through the universe, according to them, when the Big Bang happened. Of course, they may think, they're thinking now that the universe could have always been there, and that, you know, the Big Bang could be a repeated event. You know, it could be just energy just exploding out there, and then that's why you see these ripples every now and then. It's like throwing a little tiny stone into water, into a lake. Just periodically, the waves go out, the waves go out. And this is the reason why we're seeing that red drift. We're seeing an expansion of the universe, right? Could very well be. Of course, that's what Cox was saying, and I believe people like that. But again, you know, they're only going to be limited about what they can say. You can almost guarantee if there's anything that's been do with aliens or anything like that, you can almost bet most of these guys would know this stuff, right? So, yeah. All right, who's down for checking out a quick pan here? Kyle said, we're not crazy. They are crazy for not opening their minds. Absolutely. All right, so I guess let's jump into this. Guys are like already looking at it because I put it down. Well, this is what I find interesting too. Now, you've already said this. You said, Mr. Gossamer, you said, what is that light-colored line in the sand on the left? And this one, to me, could be either or. You said, is that the sun shining through a gap between the rocks? Can you take a closer look? I think it's part of a wall. But is it sunlight too? Because there is a slice between these rocks. Let's jump into that. Let it center. Okay. We can see at the top here, there is an actual opening to the rocks, right? But what is the chances of this being right at the bottom of this shadow? Or this light, rather? Look at this. It just happens to be like that in that rock. It just happens to be right there and at the end of this. So is that some kind of rock that they left in there? Because you can see back here. Check this out. Right there. See the back end of it right there? I think it's part of a wall. You can literally see the point to it right there. Coming up, and then it comes down. I don't think this is sunlight at all. It would look that way right there. Absolutely, coming through those rocks. But when I see this right here in the back, you can see the white, and you can see this darker area, which is this piece here, and you can see the very point of it. I think this is part of a wall. You guys see that? Let me go real deep in here. Let's see. You guys can have a better look at that. Let me just back up just a hair bit so we can get the whole piece in the screen. See the upper edge right there? You can actually see the back edge of this thing, and it's got a point, and it's coming down. To me, that's not light. Now, a lot of people speculate, even Neville Thompson said, no, that's actually light coming through there. And I have to disagree with that. I don't think it is at all. I think it's much more than that. Let me get... let me shrink myself here so we can see more of the screen here. We don't need to see my puss anyway. In fact, I'll just shut off the video itself. We don't need to see me in there. We are checking out a pan. Exactly, Michael Sagi said, haha. What the hell? What the hell? What a perfect arc of rock. Yep, it's a wall or piece of statue framing. Definitely not natural. James, you said wall? You said wall. Without a doubt, sunlight, no way. Panning up to the right of the photo, you will see symmetrical circles. Oh, there's going to be much more than that. You'll see this in a second. Exactly, Miss Heard. You said it looks like part of a wall. To me, that looks like a wall. I see something because I can see the back edge of this. And at first, I didn't see this, but you can see it right there. I'm just going to go back just a little bit. Right there, the back edge and the very tip. You can see the corner, and then it's coming down. And again, if we couldn't see this, what's the chance that thing ended up right on top of a rock that's that height? It doesn't make any sense, right? But I guess it's in the way how you look at it. But of course, you can see how it's been manipulated right here. See this? I don't know why they wouldn't take this out. But clearly, to me, that looks like part of a wall or something that's been carved out of some, some rock. That's just me. Not everybody has to agree. But I think a lot of you guys, seeing the same thing I'm seeing, and I would say yes. Now, you will see this it's kind of blocky stuff, too, because keep in mind, he did adjust it to get rid of the shadows. So this is the reason why you will see some of this. But I believe a lot of this, and you can see the way they did this. See, there's like steps right here. And you can see where they actually went into it right here. Like they were trying to block the side of this for some reason. But I can see the backside of that. Yeah, there's something in it right here. You can see just faintly right in here. See that? Not sure what to make of that. No, I don't think it's a bone, Lantimus. It kind of looks like I said. It looks like some kind of broken off smooth piece of something. And it almost looks hollow at the bottom end. See it right there? Like that might have been hollow at some point, or just the edge of that is. Who knows, right? Like it's been busted apart. Well, that's what I was thinking as well, Mr. Gospel. You said the light angles don't seem to work out if it was meant to be through the crack. Well, and I was thinking the same thing. I'm saying, okay, because here's a crack between the rocks right there. So it would only be from, you can see the tip of this piece sticking out right there, but you can see from here to here, that distance there, but this is sloping down. It doesn't look like sun coming through that, because you can see the sun coming up and over everything, so you would think, oh, maybe that is the sun. But at that angle, see the way everything's like, here's the rock, and look at this, how far that sun's coming through, or I should say the shadow, I'm sorry. But you can see from here to here. Now, if that was the case, that shadow should be or the sunlight should be way over here, but the sun's already shining. So that's what makes me believe this is part of a wall and not right there, because if the sun was higher, meaning right here, these shadows wouldn't be as far out as they are. It would be, the shadow would probably end right here. And that's not what we're seeing. I'm seeing something almost like, again, a wall. Mark McSween, I'm not sure. You know, there's many things to believe that we've been seeing that are so small, they could very well be tiny people at one time. Kylie said, construction worker here, cast wall, yes. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like something, and if you notice, it's pretty consistent as far as the width. Of course, it looks like they went into it. You can see on the edge right in here, at least this side of it looks like it's been, like they try to do something else to it. Right there, you can see it going like this, and it ends. But it's pretty consistent throughout all the way down on the thickness of that wall. You guys agree on that? All right. All right, Miss Haird, good to see you. And he said, hey, sorry, I have to go. Time to cook supper. Take care, everyone, and be safe. You do the same, and good to have you in there, right? Stay safe as well. Great Wall of Mars. Yeah, there you go. All right. Here's a couple other interesting things I'll show you guys, and I believe it's mechanical more than anything. And we'll get to, there's a lot more in here too, by the way. See if I can find this. Where did it go? Right here. This piece I'm going to put it right in the center of the screen. Now, he did sharpen this, which kind of in a way sucks because the more you zoom in, it kind of gets more of that weird, kind of nasty look to it. But right here, I'm looking at this piece right here. Goes straight and seems to have a curve around the face of this thing. But look at the framework to it. Comes down. Come over here. Looks like it's all bent up. Comes down. Again, another frame piece right here. And one right here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And this thing almost has a rounded front to it. See that? And what's really weird is you got the round circle here and this opening. Almost like they would look like, almost like they used to be windows or something, right? One, like a round piece of something there, and another one in this one. See that? I see mechanical parts here. I don't see just rock. There's no rock I know that does that, has that kind of framework. Lance Miss, it's a light reflection from the gas pocket from Venus. There you go. That's what it is. Problem solved. All right. That piece there. This is what I found interesting, too. Look at the way this thing is like right here. I'm going to put it right in the middle of the screen. We have this piece here is like a gold color. See this way? It's like on a platform right here. Doing this here. Around it and have this almost pinkish purplish piece sticking right out of this, right? But look inside this piece. You got like all these smaller pieces. Now these could be very well be rocks. It's just the way it looks, but it's like it's kind of like in this. It's like an inset inside this rock or whatever this is, and it has all these little pieces in there, right? Swamp gas. There you go. Now, some people are looking at this thing and they're saying, oh, yeah, look at this funky rock here. That's a stone gun. You got this piece here. I'm going, I don't know why these people are looking at these here when clearly we've got things like sitting right here. Again, this piece right in the middle, I'm going to put it smack dab in the middle of the screen right there. That to me is not natural. It's not a rock. You can see all these little pieces off to the right of it. Check that out. It's like this, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like bent steel, bent pieces. It's not a rock because clearly this separate piece is coming down from something. This clearly is not rocks. Looks like almost like a little pipe or something right here. coming down. See that? I'm going to go back over here. I like all these straight pieces right here, too. Just out of nowhere. Look the way this thing goes this. Like this. It goes over, comes back down. Check that out. And they're pretty darn straight, I mean, considering, like, they're consistently straight across. Now, I understand, rock and, you got, the layered rocking and stuff like shale and stuff like that. I get that. But if this was some kind of catastrophic event, you think these things would be totally uneven or whatever. Look at the way this thing's cut out here. Got a 90-degree angle right there. See that? And yet you got these two lines. What's the chances of that? You have these lines almost really straight with each other, except for the top here. It's a little off right here. But you got this 90-degree angle inside here. Right? What's the chance of that? Okay. Did you guys see that? This looked like it was hollowed out to me right here. This box type thing. Put it right in the middle of the screen. Almost looks like a boat upside down. See that? You can actually see it's got a rounded back to this thing. See that? Almost looks flat here. You can see almost a line to it, but then you don't see much of anything. It's all jumbled up. But it looks like it's hollowed out, whatever it is. And if you were to flip it upside down, it looks like a little dinghy or something like that. It just looks like a small boat. Of course, I'm not saying that's what it is. It's just speculation, of course. But check that out. It's got a white piece right here. That is the actual object. When you see things like that, that's actually a different color, and it's nothing like the crap they're throwing over this stuff. I found this interesting, too, how these rocks all happen to be just around this. And this is supposed to be really, really soft sand. At least that's the way it looks. And yet, look at that. Almost looks like there's something faint right there, like a 90-degree angle flat piece of something or other right there. See that? And of course, it may be just shadowing, just the way it's sticking out like that. It could very well be. There's another... Where did I see this other? This was funky. This I find is pretty funny. You got this big block, and it looks like there's nothing underneath it. Right there or there. But look at the size of this thing just sitting there. And, of course, you can see the way they blocked this thing out. See that? Now, this might have been, in all fairness, this might have been in the shade. And, of course, he took away the shadows. So you have this. But you can see where they've literally squared it. See this? To try to hide whatever's there. And then, of course, it's in the shade to boot. Maybe because they knew people were going to try to take the shadows away, and that's the end of that. And it looks like we got like a flat stone just underneath this right here, this other stone or whatever. You can just see the top edge going like this and then coming back down. See this bottom stone under here is flat? At least appears to be flat. Yeah. What about this piece right here? There's a white piece they didn't completely cover up right here. Check this out. Look at the shape of this thing. Going like this. Coming down. Going straight. See how it's like sandy? But you can see the back and underneath this is all white. And whatever this is to just slightly down and then behind it, it has a square opening. See that? Almost looks like it's square. Sitting right there and this piece is popping out. But that white piece, check that out. And you can see like a little line, like a little detailed line right there. See that? But whatever that is not natural. They just didn't cover that thing completely up. Yeah, you can see this right here. Look at this right here. This like rounded right here. Rounded piece right here. Go back to the big rock. What are we seeing? That wouldn't be a bad idea, Archetype Net. You said we need an open-minded geologist to examine this in the flesh. Well, you know what you do? Excuse me. You take this particular photo and don't tell them where it's at. And what you do is you try to put it in the proper colors first and then have them have a look. Say, what do you think of this and that and the other? See what he says. Oh, yeah, you can see these circles right here. See that? Oh, listen, there's so much things to see in these things. It's just like boom, right? Also stuff right underneath that. See that? Nice looking block here, it looks like. On the side of this other wannabe rock. Rock. Right there. Almost looks like it's got a 90-degree corner right there on the left. Goes straight across, comes down, has a little step down. See that? Get both of these in here. Oh, hey, Patron, I didn't even see you in there. You said so much manipulation. Absolutely. Yeah, Kai, you said you see a crap load of symmetrical circles on the top of that big rock. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Everything that's made to look like a rock, it's really not a rock. Again, here's all that mechanical stuff it looks like. Right there, all busted to pieces right there in the middle of the screen. Not sure what that is. Look at this little thing back here. Has this piece protruding up, but it looks like it has this rectangular opening and it has two perfectly good dots in there. Like whiter circles. Alien robot. No, I'm just kidding. But what do you guys think that is? Zoom back out a little bit. Oh, it's not as grainy. I'm just looking at this back piece over here, too, when we talked about this junk pile. Look at the pot of this thing, whatever it is. Look at the way it's cut out. Yeah. Yeah, what's the chance of that happening in nature, right? Here's that rock again you guys are talking about. You said not the big rock. You said over here. Look at this right here, right along this. There's something sticking up right there. Something sticking up right here on the left. 1, 2... And it's white, whatever the hell they're on. What's going on there, Frank? Good to see you in there. Said evening, Chris. Hey, guys. Good to see you in there, Frank. I love this thing. What is that supposed to be right here? Not sure what to make of that. There's a white piece in here underneath this rock. You can bet that's more of an object and not an actual rock. But it's being hidden up under there. Let's say these are rocks that collapsed, right? Maybe it was their structures and everything just busted to pieces and it just looks like, slabs of whatever. And this piece is underneath this stuff. You get the square piece right here. It almost looks like a faint line right there. But there's a straight edge, perfectly straight edge right there underneath this. Let's say right here. See that? Look at this thing over here. Looks like something oval with 2 black openings. See that? Sam Bougas, she said, hello from France. Chris, you have a great expertise. Keep us open-minded. I am addicted now to check out all the rovers' photos. Thank you. Thanks to you. Well, I appreciate it, Sam. And, yeah, I mean, there's a lot to see. That's for sure there, right? I was looking at this in the background. Of course, this was all shaded at one time, so you wouldn't have seen any of this. But right here, it looks like an overhang. Going like this all the way up over here. Almost a full length of the, I'm going to do it right there so it's a full length. Right there, coming off from the left, coming up, over, and then down. But it almost looks like there's something lighter colored that's actually holding it up. See that right there? Now, that might be nothing more than just the way the shadowing was, but it's just kind of weird how it's there. And then if you look at the lower half of this docker area, it's pinkish kind of thing. Like they try to do what they can to block it out. You can see it right there. Continues over to here, but you have something going vertical right there in the center of this thing, almost like it's holding that piece up. Almost looks like a wall here. Then broken up. Nice broken part of it right there. Almost looks like a square or some kind of wall piece right there. Right there. Pretty interesting. Look at all these little pieces right here. This is what I'm talking about. Like right there. This I'm going to put it right in the middle. This piece here almost looks like it's a round circle right in the center. And it's got something right. It's like rounded. A darker circle with a white piece right in the center of it. And it's right smack dab. I'm going to put it right in the middle of the screen if we can. Right there. I don't know if this is on this pan or if it was on another one. I found it really interesting. I said, yeah. Oh, here it is. This is cool. Oh, yeah. These rocks. I see rocks do this all the time. Look at the actual, the way this arch kind of crack is, right? And it follows the same exact curve, only larger, on this side. Come on. You know, I laugh at stuff like this. Even on the left-hand side of this. Look at it. It looks like a square bent piece standing there with some white pieces standing right out the back of it. Again, guys, look at right there. Here's a perfect example. You can see where they're literally taking this out right to the very left of this photo. White piece right there, nice and smooth right here in the corner, and then complete taken out right there. See that? One here on the left, and then above it right there. Yeah, I agree with you guys. You say, no, there's no way that could be a natural formation. No, come on now. There's no way. I'm going to put these right here in the middle. You can see right here where they've done this right here. I'm going to put it right in the middle of the screen. Look at this manipulation, but there's something right here. It's nice and white. It's smooth. And look at the way they just completely took this out. Okay? I'm going to go back a little bit because it is grainy as hell. But you got this white piece right here. And you got what looks like that square wall or bent piece, whatever that is. And check that out. Didn't even see this until now. It seems like this square piece here at the bottom it's on almost like a rectangular platform of some sort. See that? Yeah, Mimi, you got that right. Nasser in there, clown shoes, yep. Looks like a set of steps there, too, Bush Corey says. Yeah, I mean, just so many things in there, just cool. But again, I see this right here, this top of these. You can see that where they've, again, these white pieces, nice and smooth. They can see exactly where they've taken it out. They left the top ridges of it. You can see where it's whiter and smooth, and you can see where they've taken it right out. Yeah. I don't see rocks here, guys. I see a junk pile. That's what I see. Oh, you're talking about these right here, guys? The staircases, or was it over here? Look at this. There's something just sticking up. I just noticed it on the top of this rock. Look at this. Almost looks like a cylindrical object. Almost looks like it has a cutout or something. See that right there? Just sticking straight out of this. I'll back up a little bit. Check that out. Oh, yeah, that's natural. You get a rock or something like that. It looks like it's on a platform. See this right here? Put it right in the middle. Squared right there. And look at all the junk on top of it. What are the chances, guys? I mean, you know, it's one thing to see like a flat object. It's okay, it's part of the flat rock. I don't care. You know, it's no big deal to me. But when you see things like this right next to these cracks supposedly in these rocks, and we know they're not rocks, there's something else that's been dressed up to look like rocks. Again, look at the manipulation where they're actually blocking this stuff out. All you see is the very edges of this stuff. It's like they don't do a complete perfect job, excuse me, where they have, like I said, 1 and then 2, right? These weird radiuses or these archways, and they're like cut the same way. This one here is only longer, that's all. I just noticed this when I said about this flat piece right here. Look at this, almost like a ring. It's been almost taken out, though. There's a ring sitting right on this flat rock. You can see it right there clearly, and it almost looks like it goes around. See that? What are the chances of that, guys? See that? Oops. Oh, this is interesting. Look at this thing in the back. Look at this. That's cool. That is some kind of, I don't know what that is, but that is not natural. That's been broken open, and it's some kind of structure or some kind of something that you can actually peer inside it. But it is white. It has a side to it, and it has a top to it. And you can see it's been broken apart. What do you guys think of that? That's cool. That, to me, just screams intelligently made as well. All right, let's go back down here. There's some other interesting stuff. I know you guys are saying something about the stairs, but you said on this left-hand side. You could just see, like, look at another flat block right underneath here. And what looks like, look at these pieces right here. And you got this long piece coming right off of it, like a tubular kind of thing coming right off. See that? Oh, yeah, it's all natural. I see rocks like that all the time. My backyard do that. Yeah, buddy. How about these pieces right here coming right off the back of this? Yeah, this is a rock too, right? No, these are busted up pieces of something. Definitely intelligently made right there. Look at this. That is cool. And it comes, you can actually see it comes down like this and then straight down. See it? Mm-hmm. I love these right here. This is pretty cool. I seen this earlier. Look at the way these things are coming off of each other, going back and forth. This almost looks like it's got like almost like it was one of those big eye bolt or lag bolt. It has like an eye to it or something like that, and whatever's coming off of it, one's going from one to the other. See that? I'll go back up a little bit so it's not so grainy, and then we'll zoom into it. Right here in the center of the screen. And it almost looks like it has this thing right behind it on this so-called rock. It almost looks like it has like a half an archway type thing or something right there. Some kind of detail in that. Not sure what to make of that. All right, let's go back over to here. Not sure what this is over here. Kind of got these pieces right here sticking out. There's 1, 2, 3, and it has this almost like, slight bend to it, whatever that is. Back out a little bit. Well, I should say, the further you go out, the worse it gets. Because then you just really reach it to the back here. But there's another one that almost looks like this weird opening, like that white piece I showed you guys earlier. Right here. You can see the opening. It almost looks like you can see the side to it. It's like from front to back. You can see like the side of it here on the right-hand side. It's like a greenish color as opposed to this top. But see that? Has that opening to it. Back out of it. Oh, yeah. Look at these. Nice split in the rock. Look at the way these are rounded. Right here. Comes out and comes back out. How can that possibly be natural in any way, shape, or form, guys? Look at this. People say, well, it's got to be nature. You don't know nature. You don't know anything about, rocks and stuff. I don't need to. I mean, I can see that clearly is not natural. It comes out like this here. Look at that. And then the pieces in the front of it, they're very vague. They're very, right there. You can see this white piece is right there. This white piece going into this one. And you see something underneath there. Check this out, guys, right here. It's white underneath here. Check that out. Abs0303, what's going on, man? Good to see you in there. We're just going over a one of these small pans. Good to see you in there. Oh, I agree with you, Austin Crash. You said can't wait to slowly go over this later. Now these Giga pans get better and better. Absolutely. Well, again, they get better and better because if you scrutinize them and really look into these things, you'll see that there's much more than these simple rocks, as they call them. Now this, I would say, this is light coming through this. See these two top rocks, these flat ones coming out of here? That I would say it's light, and it makes perfect sense. Look at the way the shadowing is right here on this rock on the top. I'll put it right in the middle. Right here. You can see it's like the corner of that rock's right there. The shadow's right here. Well, it's coming through these flat pieces. That makes sense to me. That is absolutely light coming through those two rocks. Not like we seen early in the beginning. See that? Again, judging by these shadows above these two flat rocks, pointed rock at the top of it, you can see the shadow right here, and then you get these two flat rocks below it, and then you can see the shadow. That makes perfect sense on an angle. That is a light. That is actually sunlight coming through that. Looks like a bunch of stuff right here. Look at this. Rectangular pieces. Another white, almost looks like a friggin' brick with, like, instead of just having two holes in it or whatever it has, like 1, 2, 3, like the shape of it, and you can see the like 3 openings, whatever that is. Raquel Gelstrom, yeah, we've just been looking over this pan. Been looking over for a while there. You said just joined in. What did I miss? Well, you probably have to go back and watch the very beginning if you missed a lot of it, because it won't be much longer. We'll be off ourselves. Because who had just said to it? They said, "Man, I'm hungry." I don't blame you. I'm hungry as well. But yeah, that's what we've been going over. A lot of crazy stuff here. Look at this pipe sticking right out of this rock. What do you guys think of that? Oh yeah, right there, sticking right out. Look, let me back up. Check that out. That looks like a pipe to me. If there's any pipes in here, that looks like a pipe to me, sticking right out of the rock. Yeah, see that? I'll zoom right in a little further. Got the little dock opening where the end of it, the pipe is, the opening to it. And it looks like it's coming right out of these rocks. Back up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at this mess. There's something right there. It's like they don't take the thing completely out. And that's why you got to look at these and scrutinize these very carefully. You see like these bunch of rocks and you go, look at that, look at all these rocks. And then you go, wait a minute, why is there like a square piece sitting completely on top of these rocks? See, it's like reflective. See that? What's up with that? You got pieces right here in the back. Look at these right here. I'll put it right in the middle of the screen. Look at that. It's like the one overlapping the other. And I'll back out a little bit in a second. But it's literally going flat, comes back down. And you go to the other side of that flat piece, it comes down, and there's one identical to it right underneath it. Show you that by backing out. Huh. Look at this. There's actually something right there, too. It's got this round, looks like a circle right there. This has got some kind of design on the side of the thing, too. Let me back out a little bit and see if you guys see that as well. What's up with this? Looks like this, like a bar type thing going like this. Coming up, going straight across, going up into this piece. You guys see that? Coming up, going across, going like this into this other piece over here. Back out. Again, because he sharpened it, It's really hard on the eyes to see this stuff. I'm not even sure what to make of this. Clearly, this does not look natural at all. Look at these. Look at this piece right here, coming down, going like this here. Looks like almost like a small, like an arch type thing like this. It's going like this. It's just curved at the bottom. Has this dark detail. But look at the pieces right here, guys. What the hell? Almost looks like a little set of stairs inside this thing. Look at it. Right inside here. 1, 2, 3. It's like louvered or something like that. See that? Like underneath all of these white pieces, like this has been broken apart. And you can see something inside it. Same thing with this piece here. Maybe it's their dwellings. Look at this. And you can see like places inside here, like an opening underneath this one as well. It almost looks like there's like their dwellings or something like that. See that? That to me is not natural. Come on now. Patron. Yeah, that pipe is it's natural, made of copper, titanium, brass, nickel, cobalt, nano, steel combo. LOL. You taking off, Adam? You said good day to all the Aussies and in the chat, and hope all are well. You're taking off, man. It's good to see you in there, and glad to have you, right? Max K, what's going on? Good to see you in there. Didn't see you creep in. Of course, I've been paying attention to this other screen that I'm showing you guys, so my bad on that. Glad you're in there. Look, here's another piece right here. Well, actually, it's right there in the back. You can see how it's got this straight line almost, but it has this dark details on it. Almost like there's a writing right there on this one, too. You guys think of that section right there, this whole area. I'll put it right in the middle of the screen. It almost looks like there's openings and like there's things under it. Brian Jimmy said it seems like it's all petrified buildings that are partially gutted out, and I think about if you have to blow up the world, a whole effing world like now here, and then looked at it and say about 3 million years. See, I don't even think it's been that long that this place has been in shambles, to be truthful. I don't think it was that long ago at all, because if you go by what NASA says, then according to them, it's very, this has been like this for millions of years. And it's always windy. It's always dusty. You shouldn't see half the stuff we're saying, at least not in great detail, right? Yeah, look at this funky mess. What is the chance of that? Look at this. It's actually flat piece going into this opening of this one, and the one right below it's doing the same exact thing. And then there's two pieces coming straight. Well, not completely straight, but they're coming straight out of the other side on the left. What do you guys think of that? And it has a round circle right there to boot. Does nature do these kind of things, guys? I don't think so. But check that out. What's the chances of that? Max K, you said the same thing. I agree, Chris. It wouldn't be as visible. Yeah, at least not the fine details, right? I don't think so. You shouldn't see it quite that easy. Finer stuff should be like filled in with dirt. It should be like a complete mess. Look where these rocks are right here. Look at that. That funky or what? It's rounded over here on this side. Almost a straight edge over here. Like it's been broken apart. See the white piece sticking out of this? Just under here. Yeah, these are the things you're looking for. Those little white pieces. Even though they appear white, doesn't mean everything that they have is white. It's just probably because it's so discolored compared to the rest of this. Check out this rock here. Look at the way this white piece does this. You can see something goes up and over this. See this right here? This flat piece in the middle. I'm going to put it right in the middle of the screen if we can. right here. You can see the top of it. It looks like it goes around like this and comes down on the face of it in the front. And these two pieces are literally going through it. You can see the circle right here. Right here. Like an opening. These two pieces are going in and coming out the other side. See it going in into this round circle part, coming back out, going over to here. There's two of them coming back out, and one of them looks like it connects to the other right there, and then goes back into this side. Guys, come on. Look at this. Is that crazy or what? You're not going to see these intricate details like that in nature. I'm sorry, you're just not going to see that. This piece over there, look at these, just above it and behind it. Look at these, just the pieces laying around in the back of this. This, to me, looks like junk pile. It just screams junkyard. This piece right here, you can see the way this looks right here, this piece right here. Wow. Back up a little so it's not as grainy. What are the chances of that? Here's an interesting piece. I just noticed all of these. All these white pieces right here. Look at this thing. All inside this area. Look at all the white pieces inside here. See that? Over here on the edge of this. That's interesting as hell. It's like they didn't take it out, or because the shadowing would have been, in other words, this would have been a whole lot darker if he hadn't taken the shadows off of this. But check that out. All inside here. Looks nothing like this rock, because these are in the shadows. You can see that. You see the sun on the top? And there's nothing in here that's got sunlight. And yet you can see all of these white pieces. You can see where they try to block it out right there. They're going straight down. See that? Now what looks like a block here. You see the very top left corner right there. Wild, wild stuff here, guys. Huh, look at this. Looks like a rusted piece of something. You can actually see the shadow under it. Not sure what to make of that. It's kind of weird here at the very end of this. It's got 1, 2... Well, that might be the edge of that, but there's something 1, 2. There's like some kind of design here. You can see a square right on top of this, too. It's very faint right there. Now, of course, that may be a manipulation to try to hide whatever's underneath that. Adam, you were saying, I just went back a little bit on the comments. What the heck? Let me see. You put on there. Adam, you said, hey, Chris, did you hear, the latest with the UFOs caught on video by the Navy? The government now saying it's ours. Give me a break, please. Humans would not be able to handle those speeds. Oh, I agree. The maneuvers alone are just insane. No, I think they're just trying to do that because if you said, well, clearly they're not ours, then what would you think? What would be the first thing you'd think of? Exactly. It's not ours. Clearly it's UFOs or something from outer space. Yeah. Oh, that's where my switchblade knife went. I'm kidding. Whatever that thing is, that is just cool right there, right? Oh, yeah. Look at that. Like rectangular pieces of stone just laying there. At least it looks like stone. I mean, it's just a pile of it just laying there, right? What's the chance of seeing that kind of stuff just laying there? But I'm actually seeing a little bit of white back there. Unless it's daylight. But something tells me that that's something else. Because you can see this square piece right here coming down. It's kind of vague right here, so you really can't see the edge. And there's a real straight line of white right there. See that? So I think this is something else that was... Like I said, guys, this has absolutely been blown to pieces, and it's intelligently made. There's no two ways about it. Look at the frame back here. I just noticed this. How does that look natural? Look at this. Straight across, back down. See that? Oh, yeah. Swamp gas, guys. That's all it is. We're just seeing things. It's not really there. Vincent Miller, what's going on? He said, what's up, Chris? Keep up your awesome truth about Mars. Well, I appreciate it, Vincent. Good to have you in there, man. It ought to be McDuffin. It should be front page news or breaking news. You said the stuff Chris shows blows my mind every time. I can't fathom why this isn't on breaking news. Oh, I mean, again, if you take anybody like an engineer, I mean, like I said, I was a tool setter for 14 years, right? So I can see a lot of mechanical stuff. Now, some people don't see that. Some people see a lot of what looks like humanoids more than anything. But they also see, the 99% of the people see what looks like intelligently structured stuff. Again, what the hell? What is that? Going straight across, it's like a T shape of some kind of frame or some kind of something or other. And then again, you can see this dark square, and you can still see the white under this. See this right here? And you can see a white, complete straight edge white piece right there. So this right here is intelligently made. I believe all of this is. And they're just making it look like stone. But why leave this in? You can see the shadow to it and everything. Right there, that T-shaped piece and a piece going up like that. Lots of crowds, yeah. Metal, a sheet metal type thing? Yeah, absolutely. It's what it looks like anyway, right? Brian Jimmo, you said, and that's definitely looks like a little neighborhood or something. They got dusted up in the ceilings and ravaged. Well, yeah, definitely not good. Lance Blanco, you taking off? Well, if you are, good to see you in there. And you said, oh, okay, I gotta go. Gotta go, guys. Love everyone. Bye, everybody. Bye, Chris. Well, good seeing you in. I'm glad you stopped in, and we had a great time there, right? So, appreciate you being here. If any of you guys haven't smashed that like button, please do so now. Bam! Oh, yeah. Let me see. David Porter. Changing my ID to Sidonia Swamp Gas, if it's okay with you guys. Well, yeah, it works. Oh, I agree with you, Frank. Well, you said you're a 71 retired electrical engineer. This is not natural. Oh, yeah, I don't believe it is either. Absolutely not. Bush Corey said, Raid peeps, I'm off. Work calls. Catch you later. All soon. Stay safe. Great work, Chris. As always, you make all of our Fridays brighter with these great streams. Hats off to you, bro. Well, I appreciate it there, brother. You have yourself a good rest of the work there, and be safe this weekend there, right? Oops. Hate it when this thing jumps like this. James Reagan, you said the Navy declined to comment earlier about the UFOs, but then said it was unidentified. Now they're saying it was their craft. Yeah, right. Do they think we're all dumb like them? Well, yeah, I mean, it's almost like they're just terrified to say, yeah, it's not ours, guys. Because, what's the alternative? They did say that. What would happen? Well, clearly it's unworldly, right? It's unearthly, if you will. Clearly it's something else then. If it's not ours, nobody's here on Earth, who the hell built it? Well, then people start asking a whole lot more questions, and that's not something they want to start opening up the can of worms. How about these three pieces coming straight down? Look at this. Actually, it might be a fourth. It looks like this one goes off in a Y. But check this out. Comes down. Looks like it's coming out from something like a straight edge right here. Comes straight down. Like a Y shape. Or it looks like it might just come straight out in the middle. And then comes down. Well, almost like an angle. Comes down like a slant. And comes straight down. What do you guys think of that? Pretty cool, right? Oh, this piece right here, completely missing out here. Just look at the shapes that are in the wall of this, right? See that? What is the chances of that? I'm not saying Mother Nature can't do some crazy things. I've always said that, right? Mother Nature can do some wild things with wind, water erosion, you name it, right? But man, some of these things are clearly not natural. Look at this thing at the top here. Almost looks like it has an oval shaped front to it, but you see this kind of piece here that's been taken out or something like that, or it's just the way this thing is made, or it is, if it's not made. But whatever that is. 1, 2, 3 pieces on there. Look at the edges right here, guys. Look at this. What is that in the edge of this rock? You got this kind of curved piece here. One. Another one following exactly the same shape. You've got this piece right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or whatever. I don't know if it's pieces sticking out or if it's just spaces in between these pieces, but what is that? What's the chance of it doing that? It almost looks like you can see like little pieces right here, like little entrance ways or little spaces. And there's something they kind of blocked out right there. You can see it. There's like little spaces in there. See that? But what are the chances of that in nature? Jump over to here at the back here. If there's something we missed. Oh, look, a little house right there. Got a peak of the roof. It kind of looks like it from a distance, guys. I can't help it. Check this out from a distance. Right there. I'm going to move in slowly. It looks like a mini house. Now, of course, that might be just simply pareidolia, but it's just funny how it looks like that. And you can see these other supposed rocks kind of stacked on top of each other. Some of it looks like a steel. What's going on there, Robert S? Good to see you there. Lane Walls, Little House in the Prairie. Lucky Mole, you said, I wish we could get a scale on these on these rocks. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think they're small. Let's go way back out. Okay. These are very small. These are not very big at all. You could literally walk all over this stuff. I mean, it's not like they're mountainous. They're very small. Just the way it looks, you can see that this rover is sitting right here. Although you can't see it in the picture, of course, but see this right here? Let me do this. This is not a very big area at all. So whatever these things are, they're like inches tall, within like 6 inches, not even a foot. Now, larger pieces like this, they're actually bigger, because if you go back, you know, these things may be like 3 to 4 feet tops, maybe 2 to 3 feet in width. See that? Yeah, these funky rocks, right? I just seen something down here. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I probably won't find it again now that I want to find it. Oh, look at this. What the hell? That's a funky looking shape to a rock, isn't it? Almost looks like a little mini boat. Look at the front right here. Huh, almost looks like there's like a little wire or something coming out of this. You guys see that real thin piece right here? Coming out, going back into this one. But check that out. What do you make of that? Oh, yeah. I got rocks like that in my backyard. Oh, yeah. Archetype. Yeah. Here's the problem. They used to do this a lot of scaling and stuff like that. Now, you can still get some scaling on some of this stuff. If you work it out, you can do it. I don't think a lot of it is going to be accurate, although we can get a pretty good idea, right? But they don't share, all of this stuff like you're saying, camera information, aperture, zoom, whatever it may be. They don't share that with every photo, which is kind of sad because it would be great if they did that. Again, I got those pieces there. With that weird T-shape, almost looks like a steel kind of thing. There's a white piece sticking right out right here. Look at this. A nice straight line of manipulation. See the way these things are? They're running like this, and they got it really blurred out right here. Again, the chance of this thing going like this, two of these, it's either two of them and one's just kind of shadowed in between, but they come back out the other side of this face piece right here. See, it comes down like this, comes down, goes like this, and there's two pieces coming off this. One on this side, two off this side. Well, I should say two on this side, and two off the other. Like it goes into this small hole right here, comes out the other side. Yeah, something tells me that's not natural, guys. Again, these three pieces coming out of this rock. What rocks do that? Please explain. You know, of course, this is always directed at the people, that naysayers, you know, like, oh, there's no way in hell those are all rocks, man. You're seeing things. All right. Well, please explain them. What is that right there? Okay. Thought there was something on that particular rock, if you will. And this piece here sticking straight out. Almost looks square right here, but then sticking straight out. You guys see that? Because I don't see a shadow to that, so I'm kind of a little perplexed by that. Because the shadows don't look much different from these rocks. See that? And yet, you can see this thing sticking straight out. You can see the shadow of it underneath. So this thing's literally coming out of the dirt, sticking straight out. Oh, yeah. Look at this right here. I'm going to zoom way in so you see this first, but look at the way this thing is right here. Has this piece coming down. There's spaces in between here. Oh, yeah. I swear to God, you would think if these were, and of course it's pure speculation, if they were miniature, like Martians, that these look like they'd be shelters. You know? I'm not saying that's what they are, but as small as they are, and they look like almost like little structures, right? Yeah, Elaine, yeah. He said how Jimmy calls them rockified. Well, I mean, you know, you can call them that because basically that's what they're doing. They're basically turning whatever's there into rock. So, yeah. It's just rock mimicking software as far as I'm concerned. You know, you could call it what you like. It's still the same thing in a nutshell. Pretty much describing it the same. Well, like I said, after this, you know, you guys will get the links to these. You can check it out. Just loving the designs of this. Look at this. I mean, really? Multi-layered. I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, layered rock can do that, of course. But it's weird how you get, like, if this is supposed to be like an old riverbed or whatever, it seems like everything should be, like, really smooth, or at least pretty darn close to it, right? And yet that's not what we're finding here at all. We're seeing junk pieces all over the place that are clearly not natural. Stuff broken to hell, and they're just making it look like rocks. Like I said, you get this supposedly flat rock, and then you get this white piece coming out, which is either highly reflective or because he brought up the brightness, it brought up the brightness of these as well, which could very well be. Look at these pieces in the back. And there's something inside underneath this. If it is an overhang of rock, then there's something underneath them, which I don't think that they're rock at all. All right. What else did I have there I wanted to share with you guys? Let me see what else we got here. This is what I was talking about earlier. Promising signs of past Martian life in Jezero crater. This is where the new one, the Perseverance crater, Perseverance rover is going, and you can see like the alluvial fan, like they like to call like alluvial fan kind of thing, coming over like this. There's evidence that rivers once coursed across the Martian surface. A new study shows the water flowed long enough to record signs of ancient life as well. New research has indicated river delta deposits within Mars' Jezero crater, the destination of NASA's Perseverance rover on the Red Planet, formed over time scales that promoted habitability and enhanced preserved or of evidence. So they're saying that basically it says scientists have speculated that Jezero crater on Mars, the site of the next, well, we know that, could be a good place to look for markers of life. A new analysis of satellite imagery supports this or that hypothesis. By modeling the length of time it took to form the layers of sediment and the delta deposit by an ancient river as it poured into a crater, researchers have concluded that if life once existed near the Martian surface, traces of it could have been captured within the delta layers. It says, this is what I get a kick out of, because they said, first of all, it was a lot like, Mars was a lot like Earth, right? It had a giant ocean and everything else. Well, then they say there probably was water for a significant duration on Mars, and that the environment was most certainly habitable, even if it may have been arid. It's like, really? According to the lead author, Matthew, whatever the hell his name is, we showed that sediments were deposited rapidly, and that if there were organics, they would have been buried rapidly, which means that they would have been preserved and protected. Again, they're in Gale Crater now, which is supposed to be a dried-up river or lake bed. Wouldn't that have been the same? Something or other? Now, I know what they're saying because it's being washed, so it could be washed into maybe a lake and stuff like that from other, maybe the mountainous areas or whatever, and washed into it and then buried quickly, and then I get that. But you would think you'd find the same thing there as well. So are they there for that too? Or are they finding something else that they really want to check out, right? Jezero Crater was selected for NASA's next rover mission, partly because the site contains a river delta, which on Earth was known to effectively preserve organic molecules associated with life. But without the understanding of the rates of duration of delta, building events, the analogy remains speculative. So, let me see. I forgot to put this back on here. Hi guys, we're back. So it's going on an extrapolation from Earth. It's saying, so, I'll give you guys a link to this as well. So they're just going by what they're seeing a lot on here on Earth. And if Mars was a lot like Earth back in the day, many thousands of millions of years ago, then this is what you're going to get, right? So I found them pretty interesting. And they're showing it right here in the photo. What's going on there, Phil Cox? Good to see you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a kick out of it too, and they said the Red Planet Bull. In fact, they had a satellite view of, there was a certain, almost like a, I wouldn't say, it was like just regular land. It wasn't like a desert or anything like that, but it was funny. It had like kind of reddish, and on the other side it was like a bluish. It's like, so it's not all red. So what's the deal here? Let's see. What's going on, Frack? Good to see you there, man. All right, Josh D, good to see you there. He said, my dear anomalous friends, it is after 2 a.m. here, LOL, so I'll go to bed, to be honest. Well, that's fine. I'm glad you popped in there, Josh D. I hope you have yourself a good night and a good weekend coming up. Stay safe there, right? Elaine Walls, thank you very much, as always, for your support. He said, another great live chat. As always, Friday nights are the best night of the week. I love my extended family here. Thanks for doing this every week, Chris. Well, I appreciate you guys being here, right? This is awesome. And, you know, again, it's like family, and that's what I love about it. That's why I can't wait to jump in there, get some cool stuff for us to talk about, whether it's just going over simple things or just shooting around ideas. It's awesome, you know? So thank you again, Elaine. Let me see what else I have here. Okay. This is the one I was telling you guys about. This is the, we'll just make this one brief. Oops. Hate it when that happens. That's what I was talking about is Earth finally fixed largest ozone layer hole above Arctic, healing 1 million square kilometers. So, yeah. And that was due to just it says Earth has several ways of healing itself from a detrimental change with or without the COVID-19 lockdown going around the world. A new example of this is just recorded as scientists confirmed that 1 million square kilometer wide hole over the Arctic has now closed. So, yeah, interesting stuff here, man. And you can see right here, they're talking about right here in the Arctic, talking about the ozone as well. There you go. So sometimes something out of a bad situation can become good, right? Vince Amelie, that's kind of odd. You said Lowe's store fired a friend for asking to get a CV-19 virus test. How sad is this? Yeah, that is pretty sad, isn't it? Makes no darn sense at all. Autograph. It's 104 in the UK here. No complaints, though. I'm not going to bed anytime soon. Yeah, well, I got to work in the morning, which sucks. But it is what it is, right? Thankful, because I know not everybody's able to do that, and that sucks. China's new mission is going, I don't even know if I know how to pronounce that right, but it's Tiawan 1 appears on track for July launch. Independent interplanetary mission on the combined. So it says, with the combined Mars orbiter and rover spacecraft apparently proceeding towards launch. See? Again, another one going to Mars with a rover. Here we go. So, here we go, guys. Just more and more. But, you know, it's a dead, barren planet. You know, just rocks and dust. Nothing there to see, guys. You know. Yeah. That's what I'd do. I'd spend billions of dollars to go see nothing. So, yeah. Put that back over there. Tim Houston's brother, what's going on, man? 8 p.m. here. That's what we got here, 8:10 now. I'm in Eastern archetype net. I'm in the Eastern time zone. So it's 8 o'clock or 8:10 here as well. Well, Mags, it's a good hangout because of you ladies and gents. That's what that's what it's all about. Because clearly there wouldn't be a chat, right? But the idea is to have the chat. And I've said this a million times. The idea is to have like-minded people sharing different ideas. Now, you guys got your own minds. You can agree and disagree. I don't care. That's what makes this chat awesome, because you can say, well, I don't believe that's true. I think it's this. And it may be an eye-opening comment and be like, oh, yeah, I hadn't thought about that. So that's what I love about everybody here is they just take their time. They comment. They say hi to each other. Just awesome. You couldn't ask for anything better. Couldn't ask for a better chat. And like I said, I've been on some chat rooms before. By God, it's like, how the hell do these people even function? But, you guys are just a great bunch of people. I couldn't ask for anything more. Yeah, what I'm going to do is, like I said, once I get off this here, of course, YouTube will have to process the whole thing because it is like 3 hours long. It's a little over 3 hours. So once they do that and it pops up there, I'll be able to go ahead and put these on here for you guys. So, just stay tuned for that. But, let me jump off this, and we've already started this momentarily, so we're good. But like I said, guys, awesome, great bunch of people. Couldn't ask for any more. All the support, whether it's verbal, monetary, it's all good. And everybody who's been buying the merch from the store, getting your own hoodies, tees and stuff like that, tank tops, whatever, always greatly appreciated. Supports the channel, helps me stay on the air with you guys, and it's just that's just awesome. So any support's great support, you know what I mean? And like I said, verbal alone is just awesome. So enjoyed this a lot. I like coming on here on Friday nights, and if somehow I get busy and I can't, well, then I try to make it up to you guys one way or the other. That's the way I look at it, right? So I'm going to jump off here too, guys. I'm hungry. I know a lot of you guys are too. A lot of you guys are going, man, it's late. I got to get to bed. So again, thanks for staying up with me. Thanks for sharing the time with us, because I say us, it's everybody. And just having a great conversation and some great stuff. And guys, do, again, check out forbiddenknowledge.tv. Good stuff. You'll get the link for that too. And definitely well worth having extra stuff to view, right? So you may want to check that out as well. And plus, it's got a three-day, I think it's like 3-day trial or whatever it was. So also cool too. And like I said, I don't usually sign up to things like that, but I do anyway, because I just think it's just extra watching material, and it's just good to have. And they're only going to get bigger, which is cool. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. Everybody have yourself a great night, a great weekend coming up. Whether it's raining, it's sunny, it doesn't matter. Just chill at home, relax, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to try to get out some more videos for you guys. I've been trying to get out more, but been busy at work, so my apologies for that. But we'll definitely get them out for you, no doubt. Anyway, guys, I'm going to let you guys all go. Everybody be safe, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace out.